watching WPXI TV.
If you think tonight's episode of The Highwayman is explosive,
wait until next week.
if you like what you saw,
Come back for more.
The Highwayman, next Friday.
And display holder, all for $9.95. And when you act now, you'll also receive this stunning Princess Diana airmail stamp, an $8 value, absolutely free. Call toll-free now.
I would like an N as in Nellie, please. I would like to buy a vowel, please.
Which one?
An A.
Could I have a V as in Victor, please? Here comes Vanna.
I have so much fun up here with this guy.
Watch Vanna every day on Game Show Network.
CBS presents this program in color.
Start your Sunday with 60 Minutes. Then it's All in the Family.
Poor Aunt Rose.
She died. And the gang on Alice tries to break their bad habits. Next, a special Sunday movie, Like Mom, Like Me, with Linda Lavin and Christy McNichol. A great Sunday starting at 7, 6 Central and Mountain. Sunday, in a special one-hour season premiere of Archie Bunker's Place. Edith is gone. What is Archie going to do? Then on the season premiere of Alice, Mel hits the jackpot of his life. And it's a mad marathon on the season premiere of The Jeffersons, with Tom and George get set to race.
Chicken legs.
hippo hips.
Then an all-new show from the award-winning Body Human series, The Sexes Part 2. Exciting and all-new shows Sunday night.
Hey, what time is it? It's Podblast
That's right, it's Podblast time. This is your show, your weird, informative, and hopefully fun time capsule of memories of days gone by as we forge ahead together in the game of life. Just like the Milton Bradley board game of life. This is the nostalgia show with a bite. Welcome, I'm Chance Bartels, your host, no relation to Chance the Rapper. As Steve Harvey says at the beginning of Family Feud that he hosts, we've got a good one for you today. And we do, or I do, for you. Now, while we're live today, you can comment, and I'll put your comments on the screen and read them on the air, or you can call in at 770-438-1050. That's 770-438-1050. And as I said, your thoughts and comments will be read on the air today, good or bad. If you're listening to this show and want to see the show, simply search The Nostalgic Podblast in the search engine of your choice, and then you'll see the Nostalgic Podblast YouTube channel. Click that, then click the live tab, and you'll see a thumbnail image of entertainers that we lost in 2024. Today, we're going to pay our respects to pretty much all of the notable pop culturally significant souls who left us in 2024. If they mattered then, we will remember them now. Today on the Nostalgic Podblast, you'll hear from some of these lost souls from beyond the grave in their own words. So stay tuned for that. And also, we're going to discuss things that are still around today, but were much better back in the day in terms of quality. Think foods, TV shows, comedy, but mostly foods. We'll talk about it. We have our usual feature. I'm bringing back the TV cliche of the week. We're going to have the TV or film character actor of the week and some other features that I haven't done in quite some time. And we'll also have some trivia, 1970s trivia. I'm just stuck in the 70s, you know. Gallagher, God rest his soul, always would say that he's stuck in the 60s. In fact, he had a comedy special titled just that, Stuck in the 60s. I seem to be stuck in the 1970s when it comes to trivia. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping. And also I have the fake rant of the week as one of the regular features that I usually do, coming straight at you in just a little bit. And we're going to dig deep. I mean, it is the new year. This is long in your rearview mirror. That it's 2025. I wasn't here for you for that live. I was doing a panel somewhere else. But let me see if I can play the old cliche. I thought I had it right here. Here it is. Got to do this. Just a little bit of it. This is the 1947 version of All Night Guy Lombardi. How about that? There you go. So happy New Year, everybody. Let me show you an image. It's so sad how many entertainers, sports figures, singers, actors that we lost. Here's just some of them we'll talk about. And I've been talking about these people all year long, particularly James Earl Jones, Bob Newhart, Martin Mull, Terry Garr. We devoted a lot of Podblast time to those individuals, and we're going to get back to that tonight briefly. But those that we have not covered, like Linda Lavin, I'm going to talk about pretty much at the top of the show here in just a moment. But man, we lost a lot of folks. Here's another group of folks that we lost in 2024 right there. Some of the same, some different. Really, really tough. You know, if you grew up watching TV a lot like I did, you know, you felt like you knew these people. They were in our homes. I mean, it's not a cliche. And then our partner, the Remind Magazine crew, put this together in their latest edition of Remind Magazine for January 2025. Some of the same people and some different ones, like Richard Simmons. You know, they buried him in his iconic short shorts, the red and white striped short shorts. I'm making that up, but God rest his soul. Deal Emil, he was a huge personality, larger than life, big energy. I really liked Richard Simmons. Shelley Duvall, oh my God, Olive Oil, and of course The Shining. Willie Mays, he broke new roads, becoming the first person of color in the major leagues. Number 42, Willie Mays. No, not, well, I'm thinking of Wait a minute. I'm thinking of Jackie Robinson. Sorry. But Willie Mays, yeah, San Francisco Giants, big record breaker for Major League Baseball. Phil Donahue, the husband of that girl, Marlo Thomas. Maggie Smith. I mean, these are just Bob Newhart, Chris Christopherson. I once played his son in one scene in a movie called Joyful Noise with Dolly Parton. Funeral scene right at the beginning of that movie. The director, Todd Graff, thought I looked a little like Chris Christopherson in the eyes. So, you know, I got that little featured role. But Terry Garr, you know, big staple of Late Night with David Letterman, Donald Sutherland. I mean, so many more. Shannon Doherty from Beverly Hills 90210, Our House, and Little House on the Prairie, A New Beginning. Just to name a few. So let's, I guess we'll start rolling along. We've got a couple birthdays to talk about as well. I think I should talk about the folks in chat, and let's say hey to anyone who's watching us live as we're getting started here. and I'll get back to the chat. Let me just play my little romper room clip from 1984, and let's see who's out there.
You have a good day today, friends. Yeah. I did.
I had a Superman day.
You had a Superman day. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Spider-Man day.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, you know what? Wait. You know what time it is? It's time for me to see the friends at home in the magic mirror. Romper bumper, stomper boo. Tell me, do. Magic mirror. Tell me today, did all my friends have fun at play? All my friends had fun today. I see David's having a special day today, and Olivia Joy had a special day on Sunday, and I see Robin had a special day yesterday, and Dana's having a special day today, and so is Reginald and Edward John and Margaret, and I see Justin and Megan and Courtney and Brick and Mark and Rachel and Sheila and Caroline are all having special days, and Cicely and Ashley and Matthew and Jose, and I see Bonnie and Anthony and Joe had special days yesterday, and so did Tammy and Brandon and Gregory, and of course, friends, you know I see you.
Hello, Tracy. Hello, Tracy's Fractured History and More. Hey to Snark and Sass. Hey to my super mod, Keebler, Danger No Sugar Coating the Truth. Hello to Sarah, My Flock, watching Facebook Live. Oh my gosh. Say hello to Skeleton. And I am sorry that I was late. I was running a little late, Mr. Danny Staten in South Carolina. You know why? There was a glitch. I couldn't upload photos that I wanted to show. I do a lot of preparation for these live podblasts. I really do. I want to make it informative and historically accurate and have some visual aids and some clips as well as still pictures to share with you. So that's why I apologize. It was a glitch with, I don't even want to mention the brand name, the software that I use to bring this video presentation to you. So that's what happened there. All right. So hey to everybody that's watching live. And we're going to play trivia in a little bit. I already said that. So I guess I'll start. Let me see here. Oh, I want to mention this. Since we were talking about the new year, according to the Chinese zodiac, 2025 is the year of the snake. The union, the snake is on the rack. Whatever that song was, Duran Duran, from Seven and the Ragged Tiger album. My old buddy Danny Cochran, he always would make fun of me for liking Duran Duran. I mean, I liked harder music, you know. I liked the stuff he was into, you know, like Iron Maiden and stuff like that. But I did like Duran Duran because the girls back then liked Duran Duran. Anyway, but according to the Chinese zodiac, 2025 is the year of the snake. The ancient calendar, the Chinese zodiac, which dates back over 2,000 years, is based on a 12-year cycle, with each year represented by an animal from Chinese mythology. The snake, being the sixth animal in the zodiac, is set to take center stage in 2025. Unlike the Gregorian New Year, January 1st, the Chinese New Year's date is based on the lunar calendar and changes each year. In 2025, our year right now as we're live, the Chinese New Year begins on January 29th, ushering in the year of the wood snake. As the year of the dragon of 2024 comes to an end on January 29th, 2025, and the year of the snake begins, we can expect an abrupt change of pace. I remember it was the year of the rabbit the year before. What, in 2022 was the year of the rabbit? No, yeah, 2023 was year of the rabbit. 2024 was year of the dragon, and now we're in the year of the snake in terms of the Chinese calendar. Okay. Now, according to Chinese astrology, the year of the snake is associated with transformation, renewal, and spiritual growth. Snakes are known for their ability to shed their skin, symbolizing the process of letting go of the old and embracing the new. This theme is expected to resonate throughout 2025 as individuals are encouraged to release their past baggage and embark on a journey of self-discovery. The snake is also a symbol of wisdom, cunning, and adaptability. People born in the year of the snake are known for their intelligence, creativity, and resourcefulness. As the world navigates the complexities of 2025, these traits are expected to be in high demand. In terms of predictions, the year of the snake is likely to bring about significant changes in various aspects of life. Career-wise, individuals can expect new opportunities and challenges that will test their skills and resilience. In the realm of relationships, the snake's influence may lead to increased passion and romance, but also potential conflicts and power struggles. So goodbye to the year of the dragon. Dragons are dead anyway, and dragons are losers. So hello to the year of the snake. Remember the dragon on Tic-Tac-Doe? You try to avoid the dragon. In the bonus game on Tic-Tac-Doe, hosted by Wink Martindale, who, knock on wood, is still alive. Here we are in 2025, January 2025, and he is still with us, thank the Lord. Okay, now we got to get a little somber and remember some of the folks who passed away in 2024. And I'm going to do this right. Yes, we lost a lot of people. Want to talk about someone that really affected me in a way I never thought. What happened? Make sure can y'all hear the music? I don't want to drown out my words. All right, there you go. That's better, huh? Check. Sounds good, I think, from what I can tell. All right, I'm going to start it. All right, so this one upset me more than I thought it would. It was the passing of Linda Lavin. It actually, I think, upset me more than the passing of another Linda who's still alive, Linda Carter would. And that's just me. I'll explain. I want to show a picture of who I'm talking about for the youngsters out there like Kay Moonen, who probably don't know who she was. Hello to Joe Gutfeld. Hello to Jerry Dobson, also watching on Facebook. I put your comment on the screen earlier. He's in Michigan State. Joe Gutfeld is in New York State. Yes, you're good. The sound is okay. Oh, thank you. My flock is everywhere, Sarah. Thank you. Yes, Chance. Me too. It's like another month. I know, and I'll explain in just a minute. And don't misunderstand. I didn't have the hots for anything like that. It was all pure. I just thought she was so talented. And there was one particular episode of Alice that I really liked, and I have some clips and things I'll play. Wait a minute. Okay, so the picture. Let me put a picture of Linda up for those that don't know who I'm talking about. Let's see. Where's a good one here? I have several. Yeah, this is a classic one. All right. And let me change my camera shot so you can see my fat head in the corner. Maybe. Yeah, all right. Well, let me. All right, here. So, rest in peace to multi-talented actress Linda Lavin, who was born on Friday, October 15th, 1937 in Portland, Maine. She was best known for playing the title character in the classic sitcom Alice on CBS TV. And she was known for her stage performances both on and off Broadway. Of course, Alice was based on the movie Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, directed by Mr. Martin Scorsese, released in late 1974. Alice premiered on August 31st, 1976 on the CBS television network. But Linda Lavin sadly passed away on Sunday, December 29th, 2024 from lung cancer at the age of 87. Linda was known for her roles on stage and screen. As I said previously, she received several awards, including 3 Drama Desk Awards, 2 Golden Globe Awards, 2 Obie Awards, and a Tony Award, as well as nominations for a Daytime Emmy Award and a Primetime Emmy Award. She was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame in 2010. After acting as a child, Linda Lavin joined the Compass Players in the late 1950s. She made her television debut in Rhoda, the spinoff of the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and had a recurring role in Barney Miller. Right before Alice began, she played a detective in Barney Miller in the first 2 seasons of Barney Miller. She gained notoriety for playing the title role of a waitress of a roadside diner located in Arizona in the CBS sitcom Alice from 1976 until March of 1985, a role for which she was nominated for that Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, and she won 2 consecutive Golden Globe Awards for Best Actress in a Television Series, Musical, or Comedy. She later starred in NBC's sitcom Sean Saves the World and the CBS sitcom 9JKL, and took reoccurring roles in the legal drama The Good Wife between 2014 and 2015, and the sitcom Be Positive, like letter B, Be Positive, from 2020 to 2022. On stage, she won the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play, playing the strong-willed mother in the Neil Simon play Broadway Bound in 1987. She was Tony nominated for her roles in The Last of the Red Hot Lovers in 1970, The Diary of Anne Frank in 1998, The Tale of the Allergus Wife in 2001, Collected Stories in 2010, The Lions in 2012. She's also known for acting in It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman.
It's New Year's. I got an idea.
Oh,
Dress
Lord.
up. I don't have.
In 1966. The Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman. Let me, there we go. Technical snafu. You know, I think I'll play a clip of Alice. Gee, now I'm worried about the bots on this, but let me just try to play a clip, and I'll get back to my notes here. Let's see here, and then I'll put the comments on the screen while the clip plays. So, I have a clip from 2021 of Linda talking about playing Alice on TV, but let's go back in time to like the pilot intro, which had a different Tommy. I call him the fake Tommy because he was only in the first episode, which was the pilot of Alice. First episode from August 31st, 1976. And it was an entirely filmed sequence. I put it on my YouTube channel, The Nostalgic Podblast, recently. Going to play a little bit of it right now. And you'll see Alfred, you'll see a different actor who played Tommy, and I'll explain why that the change was made in the casting for the role of Tommy Hyatt in a bit. But here is the original opening right here.
Early to rise. Early.
See, this was cool. Not videotape.
Between I cooked and cleaned and went out of my head.
There he is. Alfred Water is Tommy, not the original Tommy.
With blinders on, it's tough to see.
And of course, Linda Lavin sang
get out
song in all 9 seasons of the show.
Me. There's a new girl in town and she's looking good. There's
You think they had chemistry?
face in the
These two actors here, do you think they had chemistry? Let me know in the comments, yes or no. So it's the same thing. Obviously,
she's gonna stay a while.
There you go. So that was Alfred as Tommy, and he also was in the first 2 Bad News Bears movies, and he was the Tommy in the movie Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore that the sitcom was based upon. But I'll explain what happened to him a little bit later. Here's a promo. I played a couple promos at the beginning of the show. Here's a 1977 promo of All in the Family and Alice on CBS. Let's look at this.
Sunday, the fun starts at the grand opening of Archie's Tavern as the help walks out and the family fills in for a bubbling highball of hilarity. Then, Alice's nightclub moonlighting becomes a nightmare for Mel.
You got 2 jobs, Alice. Pick one.
Watch for her surprising decision. Sunday at 9, 8th Central and Mountain.
There you go. There's one. That's a good clip. I'm a little nervous about playing this other clip just because of music rights issues and all that stuff. Desi Arnaz guest starred on Alice, of course, from I Love Lucy. And there were a lot of good guest stars that appeared on this show. Even Sherry Jackson from Star Trek, who played Andrea the Android. A lot of you know who I'm talking about. Talked about her on the show a lot in the past. But you had all sorts of like big stars, smaller stars, but tons of character actors. And it wasn't taped before a live studio audience, but that's okay. It was still funny. You know how the Norman Lear shows actually had people sitting there watching the performances. And you know how sitcoms would do? They'd actually do 2 tapings before a live studio audience. And I think they did with Alice as well. And then the editor would have a choice of which take he wanted for each scene, each moment actually. Could be a combination of 2 different performances of that week's episode. So let's look at a little bit of this episode with Desi Arnaz. I'll try to talk over it so that the stream doesn't go down.
Early to rise.
And there's the more familiar opening. Season 1.
And in between I cooked and cleaned and went out of my
Logo was airing it. That's the cable channel.
with blinders on it, tough to see. I had to get
It has a lot of gay programming on it. Logo.
There's a new girl in town and she's
That's film footage too. The car breaks down. Sorry if I'm talking too loud. I'm trying to set the level for the clip. I think this song will get hot after my ass. Tough part.
She's gonna stay a while.
Philip McKeon is Tommy, who replaced Alfred Wilson. Gotta watch a little bit of this here. William Asher director of Bewitched. Yeah, comes from Ruth Montgomery.
That makes 2 of us.
I had an emergency. A friend of mine is in town with her husband. She had a big fight with him last night. She left him and she came to stay with me.
I have a lot of those emergencies, only it's usually the husband who wants to stay with me.
I have an emergency too. They must be catching.
What's yours, Vera?
Well, I can't sleep in my apartment tonight because my landlord's painting it, and he only works at night.
Well, what does he do during the daytime?
He sleeps because he's so tired from painting all night.
Good, Vera.
I feel so awful about my friend Ruth leaving her husband. She was my singing teacher back in Jersey. I sang at her wedding when she married Paco.
Paco?
Yeah.
That's his name, Paco?
I thought Paco was something you eat in a Mexican restaurant.
Get with it, will you, gang? Paco, he's the most famous fashion photographer in New York City. He does all those models for the Harper's Bazaar and Vogue.
With or without clothes?
Mostly with.
And I mostly haven't seen him.
I just hope they get back together again. I wish there was something I could do.
Alice, never meddle in the problems of a married couple. You shouldn't even let his wife stay in your apartment.
Mel, she's one of my closest friends. She left her husband. She couldn't get another hotel room on account of the convention. What do you want me to let one of my best friends sleep in the gutter?
Some of my best friends sleep in the gutter.
Seen some of your best friends. Mel, getting involved is what it's all about.
Butting out is what it's all about.
I thought sleeping in the gutter was what it was all about.
Listen, I agree with Alice. If your friend's in trouble, you gotta help her out.
Do you really feel that way, Flo?
I certainly do.
Good, because I need a place to sleep tonight, too. I would have asked Alice because I know there's not much room in your trailer.
No, that's okay, Vera. You can stay with me. You don't take up too much room.
Oh, thank you, Flo. And Harold thanks you, and so does Starsky and Hutch.
Who?
Harold Harold's my hamster and Starsky and Hutch are my goldfish.
All of you are going to stay in my trailer.
Well, I can't leave Harold home. Paint makes his eyes water.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I bet you haven't gained more than 5 pounds.
Oh, well, we all change. Hey! You haven't, though.
Listen, Alice, where is Ruth, huh?
How should I know?
Oh, now, come on. You're her best buddy. You must know what it is.
Well, even if I did, I wouldn't tell you, Paco.
Oh, come on. You can tell Paco.
No, I can't.
Alice, you gotta tell me. You got to tell Paco.
Hey, lay off. She wants to tell Paco, she'll tell Paco.
What kind of a place is this where the dishwasher talks fresh to the customers?
It's the kind of place where the dishwasher owns it.
Oh.
Paco, I'm real sorry about Ruth walking out on you.
Yeah. And over what? A model who doesn't mean any more to me than how to make a living.
Ruth said there were 3 models.
Well, I'm making a good living. You see, that's how many happened to be in that shot I was setting up. And you know how models are. I mean, they just don't fall into place. They're like clay. You have to mold them. And that's when Ruth walked in, when I was molding them.
Hey, Moldy, you're looking for advice. Why don't you write to Dear Abby?
You like it, huh? I'm broken-hearted over losing my wife, and I got a kibitzer here and a sailor hat.
Come here. I want you to meet my boss. This is Mel Sharples. This is my dear friend Paco Robles. This is my friend Vera.
Hello.
And behind you is my friend Flo.
Any dear friend of Alice's is a dear friend of mine.
Good. What are you doing tonight, Flo?
Paco.
Alice, it's just that, you know, everything I see is a possible prize-winning picture. And she has very good structure. A little molding here and there, you know.
Listen, you've already molded yourself into a heap of trouble, huh?
Yeah, but look at her face, you see? She has sensational cheekbones.
You're heartbroken from losing your wife, remember? Forget about the cheekbones.
I'm glad you reminded me. Now, come on. Where is Ruth?
Please, Paco, I don't think I should tell you. And besides, she's in no mood to talk to you.
I know she wasn't in the mood to talk to me last night. She hit me over the head with my Nikon and bent my tripod.
She says she doesn't want to see you again.
But she says that every time she leaves me, you know.
Well, I think she means it this time. She called her lawyer.
El abogado?
See.
Now, come on. You are looking at an innocent man, a victim of circumstantial evidences. All I need is 5 minutes to explain while Ruth is listening instead of throwing.
Paco, I gave her my word that I would not tell you where she is, huh?
All right. I understand. But if I can find her and make her come back to me, then life is not worth living. No use going on no more. I might as well go out there in the middle of the highway and throw myself under a diesel.
Okay, kid. Ruth is staying with me. You could come over tonight.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
I gotta go. Listen, I am doing a layout for Vogue. And I got 3 new models. They may need a little molding.
I should have let him throw himself under a diesel.
He's cute. If I'd known I was going to meet him, I wouldn't have flunked Spanish.
Well, maybe he and Ruth will get a chance to talk. Maybe they'll get back together.
Alice, you're asking for trouble. You get between a husband and his wife, you are stirring up a hornet's nest.
Oh, come on, will you? These are my friends. I can't turn my back on them. Getting involved, Mel. Getting involved. That's what it's all about.
I thought getting molded is what it's all about.
Yeah, I love that show. That wasn't one of the better episodes, though. My favorite episode was from season 1, and it had Eileen Heckart playing the mother-in-law of Alice's deceased truck driving husband. And I loved it when she couldn't take any more. The character of Alice's mother-in-law, played by Eileen, was just like a really stern, rigid, mean woman. And she just picked and picked with passive aggressive jabs at Alice throughout the whole show. And Alice is having her stay at her tiny apartment, like on the sofa couch. And she's just so rude and basically blaming Alice for her son's death. And at one point, it's a two-parter. In part 2, I love it where Alice cracks. She goes, "Go suck an egg, Rose." I just love that. That's why I liked her character, strong performer. I think that's probably why, as I reflect, why did this loss affect me so much? I mean, I wasn't like crying or anything, but I was just like, damn, it just took me aback. And I think that's why, because I think her character was just so awesome. I thought, raising a son on her own and fending off scumbags along the way. And it was just a good show. And she fought for a raise from her cheap boss, Mel. And of course, somebody didn't really steal the show, but Flo had that catchphrase. It kind of got old after a while. I know she's got a spinoff. Was it during season 3 of Alice, or maybe 4? I should have researched that. I'll look it up for the end of the show when she got her own show. And here, of course, is the iconic catchphrase of Polly Holiday as Flo, and Diane Ladd played Flo in the movie Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And then she, of course, played Belle for just one season because she and Linda Lavin did not get along. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But here is Polly Holiday as Flo.
Little stroll down memory lane.
Well, strolling wasn't exactly what I had. You know what I'm saying to you?
Langley. Kiss my grits. Mel, let's be honest. We haven't found other jobs. Have you found other waitresses?
All right. Want to all come back to work?
Want to hire us back?
I asked you first.
Mel.
Yeah.
Goody. Okay, then it's settled. We come back to work and you pay us what you're paying Kenny?
Absolutely.
Terrific.
No problem. I'll just lower Kenny's salary to match yours.
Mel, on behalf of Alice, Vera, and myself, kiss my grit!
Come on.
I'm thinking about it.
What are you going to do, memorize the hand?
Kiss my grit.
Oh, stow it, Flo.
Kiss my grit! Mel, I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and extend to you a heartfelt message for the new year. Kiss my grit!
Flo! Get your carcass out of there. I'm going to fire you. Say something.
Kiss my grit! Would you tell her to stop stealing my customers?
Flo says you should stop stealing her customers.
Tell Flo that instead of calling up guys, she should be tending to business.
Instead of calling up guys, you should be tending to business.
Or is that her business?
Or is that your business?
Tell her she can kiss my grits. You can kiss my canister. Hey, Mel, come on in here. I want you to meet Jimmy Joe Castleberry.
Oh, hello, Jimmy Joe Castleberry. Hey, those kind of duds, you gotta be Flo's brother.
Well, that's a story I heard, but I never did pay much heed to ugly rumors.
JJ,
kiss my grits.
Big deal. Fake fur, and he gets a ring like this from a claw machine at the Penny Arcade.
A claw machine? Listen, Burger Brain, this might be a real diamond for all you know.
If this were a real diamond, it'd be worth over $100,000. Real diamond.
Well, how'd you like a real punch in the nose?
Flo, if you want to find out if that's a real diamond, there's a way. I saw it in a movie. A diamond is the only thing hard enough to cut glass.
Really good thinking, Dingy. I'm going to prove this once and for all. Give me that ring.
You don't get this ring off my finger.
Let me see the ring.
Kiss my grits.
ABCD.
I'm very worried about my friend Flo in your culture. See, she comes from a world of ring bang do and kiss my grits.
Kiss my grits, yes. Very nice.
Have a harem.
Oh, my goodness, no, do I have a harem? Of course not, no.
Oh, that's a relief.
It would be very immodest of me to call 3 wives a harem. No.
Oh, Benji, you do have 3 wives. You have 3 wives.
This is so, and you are going to be number 4.
When donkeys fly.
Not in my country, donkeys do not fly.
Well, in my country, women don't sit around in their jammies waiting for their husbands to say next.
But it's good. My father had a saying, if you have not tried it, do not knock it.
Didn't that turkey ever do anything except sit around making up cornball sayings?
This is no way to be speaking to your future husband, no.
Yeah, well, Benji, how about this? Kiss my couscous. All joking aside now, there's something that I want to say from the heart. Mel, I've worked for you for a long time, and I really mean this. Kiss my grits!
What if we're trapped in here forever? Oh, I didn't even make out a will. Who will take care of my cat? Who will take care of my goldfish?
Maybe a cat will take care of your goldfish. You're the last one to be crying. You're the one that got us into this in the first place.
Oh, how do you figure that?
She locked the door.
Vera closed the door. That was an accident. Putting them stupid locks on was a deliberate act.
No, look who's talking, the M&M thief.
Mel, kiss my grits.
And while you're at it, you can kiss my grits, too. Well, you know Jerry Reed?
Well, yeah, I used to babysit him when he was little.
He was 4 and she was 10.
Isn't that interesting? Now, I read that Jerry Reed has been married for 18 years, got married when he was 18, would make him 36. Oh, you must be...
Alice, kiss my grits.
Hey, around here, I'm the guy that needs protection. Hell, it's 3-1 against me. I'm the one that should be organized.
You'll get no argument there.
Hey, Flo, kiss my grits.
Oh. Abusive and/or demeaning language.
Who's it gonna be? Who goes?
Well, I haven't decided yet. But as of today, you're all on 2 weeks' notice. But for 2 of you, it isn't going to count.
So that's it? After all the 4 of us have meant to each other?
Oh, Alice, please, don't make it any harder on me than it already is.
Harder on you. Kiss my grits. Mel, I didn't mean that.
I agree with Rick Clark. As I said before I started playing that clip, it did jump the shark. And Jump the Shark, of course, is a reference to the Fonz. And the season 5 premiere of Happy Days, literally Jumping the Shark in a 2-part episode, which in syndication is 3 parts. It was a 1-hour episode in part 1. Then part 2 was a 30-minute episode where Richie Cunningham is chosen to write a screenplay. So they go to Paramount Studios in California. And then eventually the Fonz in his leather jacket yet. It was like a throwback to Batman surfing against the Joker and surfs up Joker's Under season 3 Batman episode from 1968, which I have on 60mm film. They actually used the Johnny Carson Tonight Show theme in that episode, and they did music replacement on the Me TV version. When they were in the Hang Five, in the beginning of the Hang Five hangout I'm digressing here. We're talking about Linda Lavin and other stars that died, but there's a hangout for surfers in that episode. And when they enter, they're dancing to the Johnny Carson theme. And that, I guess, became problematic with music rights. So anyway, yeah, I agree. It did jump the shark. Joe Gutfeld in New York City mentioned George Burns was also on Alice. Yes, he was. There was a whole list of great talent that appeared on that show. It was a very popular show. Joe also said Polly was also on Home Improvement. Yes, she was. And I want to say thanks to Tracy for donating a super sticker to the channel. Thank you so much, Tracy, in Florida, the state of Florida, and also our Southern California sweetie, Sarah. She did as well. Thank you so much. I mean, every bit helps keep us on the air over here. I appreciate it. But we do have sponsors, and I do have a new sponsor too to go along with Remind Magazine. So we'll talk about that in a little while as well. Yes, Rick, that was season 5, and another Happy Days thing, and I'll get back on track here. They did not have a live studio audience in the first 2 seasons of Happy Days, which you know, and how you know which seasons those were. Those are the ones that had the Bill Haley and his Comets Rock Around the Clock opening with that song. And then when it went to, which was the end credits theme of season 1 and 2, they made that the opening credits theme, that Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. That's when it was before a live studio audience, starting in season 3, 1975 and then 1976. And I guess it paid off, because by season 4, in front of a live studio audience, they dethroned All in the Family, who had a 5-year run at number 1 in the Nielsen ratings back then. But Happy Days, just for 1 year, though, knocked All in the Family off their perch. And All in the Family never got back to number 1, though, after that 5 consecutive year run at number 1. What year did the Rolling Stones release their first record? You won't get it right. Well, we're going to save that for Tarot Destroyer for our trivia portion of tonight's live broadcast. And we're going to, let me get my picture pulled up. This is kind of tough to do sometimes. Solo. And I got a music video of the week we're going to play a little bit later. This is just a jam-packed show. Okay. Getting back to the stars and talents that mattered in pop culture history, passed away in 2024. We're talking about Linda Lavin at the moment. Let me see where I mentioned her awards. I have a little story about Linda Lavin I'll share in just a little bit. But getting back to what I've prepared, I told you how she even was acting as a child. She joined the Compass Players in the late 1950s, and she was in It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman in 1966. The play. And then she was also in On a Clear Day, You Can See Forever in 1967, Gypsy in 1990, The Sisters Rosenzweig in 1993, Follies in 2011, and she made her film debut in Damn Yankees back in 1967, and later had roles in The Morning After in 1974, The Muppets Take Manhattan in 1984, I Want to Go Home in 1989, and Being the Ricardos in 2021. So she was acting right up until the end of her life. Lavin was born in Portland, not Oregon, but Portland, Maine, the younger daughter of David Joseph Lavin, a businessman, and Lucille Dorothy, who was an opera singer. Her sister, Jocelyn Lavin Pollard, is 10 years older than Linda, and the Lavin family were active members of the local Jewish community. Both sets of grandparents, Simon and Jesse Lavin and Harry and Esther Potter, emigrated from Russia. Her family was musically talented, and Lavin was on stage from the age of 5. She attended Waynflete School and Deering High School before enrolling in the College of William and Mary. While at William and Mary, she performed with the William and Mary Theater in many productions directed by longtime professor Howard Scammon. Not scamming, Scammons, Scammon, Scammon. In the summer of 1958, Linda Lavin played one of the leads in The Common Glory, an outdoor drama written by Pulitzer Prize winning playwright Paul Green and staged at an amphitheater on campus. Upon her graduation from William and Mary, Linda Lavin had already received her Actors Equity Association card. She was a member of the Compass Players in the late 1950s. Already said that. She studied acting at HB Studio in New York City. By the early 1960s, Lavin had appeared in several Broadway shows and appeared on the 1966 cast recordings of The Mad Show, performing Stephen Sondheim's The Boy from It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman. One of their numbers, You've Got Possibilities, was the album's best received song and was called, quote, the one memorable song, Flirty, by the Dallas Observer critic. In 1967, Linda Lavin made an appearance as Gloria Thorpe in a television version of the baseball musical Damn Yankees with Phil Silvers. Sergeant Bilko himself. In 1969, Linda Lavin married actor Ron Leibman. His last name is spelled Leibman. And by 1973, the couple had moved to Hollywood, California. After various guest appearances on episodic television series such as The Nurses, Rhoda, Harry O, and Kaz, Linda Lavin landed a recurring role as Detective Janice Wentworth on Barney Miller during the first and second seasons of that program. I've told you this story before about Barney Miller. I've got to digress here. On the $6 Million Man, there was a character named Barney Miller who became the $7 Million Man. Monty Markham was the actor who played this character, and he had a bionic right arm and a bionic left arm, as well as the bionic legs. And he was a NASCAR driver that had a crash. Well, that aired in November 1974. Barney Miller debuted in early 1975, and then they brought the $7 Million Man back in season 3 of the $6 Million Man, episode titled The Bionic Criminal, but they renamed his character from Barney Miller to Barney Hiller. But hey, the $6 Million Man had Barney Miller first, and it was on the same network, by the way. ABC aired both the $6 Million Man and Barney Miller. So, I mean, she was on Barney Miller right before the pilot was shot for Alice. Now, in terms of the cast of Alice, Beth Howland was Vera, and she's an interesting person in her own right. I saw her in a season 2 episode of Little House on the Prairie just before Alice debuted, and she's totally different. She doesn't have that, as Mel would say, dingy voice, that dingy aspect. I mean, she is a completely different person. It's called acting. So Beth Howland, and she was married to a very strange actor who appeared on the original Star Trek and Lost in Space. Let me see if I can find a picture of him real quick. Pollard's his last name. He was in Bonnie and Clyde, the movie. He played in the Star Trek episode Miri, if you're familiar with the classic Star Trek. He's like, Miri is, he was just kind of a weird boy, and he fell in love, or Angela Cartwright. There was a love story in a black and white Lost in Space episode, The Magic Mirror, and he played a guy trapped behind the world of the mirrors in another dimension. And he actually tries to entice Penny Robinson to live with him in that crazy world behind the mirrors. That was kind of a cool story written by Jackson Gillis, who wrote a lot of episodes that dealt with the character of Penny Robinson. And she had been in The Sound of Music and the Danny Thomas Show, otherwise known as Make Room for Daddy. And the writer really had a lot of respect for Angela as a young performer. So he wrote a lot of good Lost in Space episodes for her character. So let me look here. Michael J. Pollard's his name. I just remembered before I had to pull it up on the internet. Yeah, Michael J. Pollard was married to Vera, the actress who played Vera, Beth Howland. So there you had Beth Howland as Vera in the original cast, Linda Lavin obviously as Alice, Polly Holiday as Flo when it debuted on August 31st, 1976 on CBS. She left Barney Miller to star as the lead of Alice, which was a sitcom success that ran from 1976 until March of 1985 on the CBS television network. I know I mentioned this, but in case you tuned in late, the series Alice was based on the Martin Scorsese directed movie Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore that starred Ellen Burstyn as Alice, and Ellen was the mom in The Exorcist. So she was hot in Hollywood at that time because that was a big hit movie, The Exorcist. Linda Lavin portrayed Alice Hyatt, a waitress and aspiring singer, the character that Burstyn had played in the film. Linda Lavin performed the series theme song, There's a New Girl in Town, which was written by David Shire and Alan and Marilyn Bergman, and was updated for each of the first 6 seasons with a different recording of it by Linda. During the series' 9-season run, Linda Lavin won 2 Golden Globe Awards and received a Primetime Emmy Award nomination and gained experience directing, especially during the later seasons. I didn't like it when she cut her hair short. I thought she looked so much better with longer hair. I mean, I still watched the show as a kid, and I was never attracted to her. I just had respect for the character and her performances. And she was doing physical comedy in several episodes, not to the level of a John Ritter on Three's Company, who did a lot of physical comedy, but at times there were a lot of stunts where she would fall. She had to, carry all these dishes as she's acting and performing, as her role of Alice Hyatt. She did a lot of stuff that looked really difficult to do. And, of course, Linda Lavin also played a dual role as Alice and as Debbie Walden, a wizened and former landlady of the character of Vera Louise Gorman Novak. But she also played, remember, she dressed up as a man for the poker game. She had a mustache. It was seen in the opening credits. So this article doesn't mention that. But, yeah, I like that where she played, I think the character was Gus. And she did a voice, trying to sound like a dude. Linda Lavin also made numerous television appearances outside of Alice, excuse me, including hosting her own holiday special for CBS titled Linda in Wonderland in 1980. And she acted in 2 sitcoms, Room for Two from 1992 to 1993 and 1998's Conrad Bloom. In Room for Two, she played a mother who moved in with her daughter, played by Patricia Heaton, who has a show on a local television station. The daughter gives Lavin's character her own segment called Just a Thought at the end of her program. She made numerous television guest appearances, including roles in The Muppet Show in 1979, Law and Order, Criminal Intent, The OC, Touched by an Angel, and HBO's The Sopranos in 2002. She also appeared in many telefilms between 1967 and 1998, including Damn Yankees, talked about that already, Sad Bird, The Morning After, Jerry, Like Mom, Like Me, The $5.20 an Hour Dream, Another Woman's Child, a whole host of things. I could go on and on and on. It sounds like I'm going to. Now, Whitewash, she did A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes, the Annette Funicello story. Her name's going to come up in a clip I'm going to play in a little bit, Annette Funicello. Stolen Memories, Secrets from the Rose Garden, For the Future, the Irvine fertility scandal, as it were, The Ring, not The Ring, the horror movie The Ring, but something called The Ring for television, and Best Friends for Life. Lavin produced and starred in A Matter of Life and Death, the 1981 telefilm based on the work of nurse Joy Ufema. She directed the 1990 telefilm Flower Babies. Lavin made her feature film debut. That's not true, but it says she made her feature film debut in The Muppets Take Manhattan in 1984. No, I already mentioned what her first film was earlier. But anyway, her other feature film appearances include See You in the Morning, which starred Jeff Bridges. And she was in I Want to Go Home, opposite Gerard Depardieu. And she was in The Backup Plan in 2010. Lavin also provided the voice of Mother Vulture in the animated series Courage the Cowardly Dog for the episode Watch the Birds. Now, it doesn't mention here, she also did a movie called Wanderlust. She played a character, a therapist in Wanderlust, and I was in that movie. Let me show you a picture of Linda at the premiere of Wanderlust. Here she is in her scene in Wanderlust from 2011. It was shot in New York and in Georgia. And I played a news crew guy. Here I am in Wanderlust on the right. Let me show you a little bit more. And we're reacting to Alan Alda, who's in the scene, and Paul Rudd. But look how tiny I am. You can see how short I am. People ask, how tall are you, dude? I'm like 5'5". I'm short. I'm a little shit. Oop, family show, sorry. But there I am. And in the movie. Anyway, long story short, I was this close to meeting Linda Lavin, but her scenes were shot in New York City. So, and I wasn't in the same scene at all. And there she is at the premiere of Wanderlust. Jennifer Aniston's in that movie as well. Paul Rudd. It's a funny movie about this guy who loses his job. A couple, rather. They lose their jobs, give it up, and they join a commune. And, yeah, we shot our stuff. The scenes I worked on was in East Atlanta. Way east. It was really far away, like near Social Circle, Georgia, if you know where that is. But there's Linda in Wanderlust. Okay, let me see here. I'm almost done paying respects to Linda Lavin. I just thought her character was really, really cool and her acting was just incredible. And singing too. Her singing was good as well, just multi-talented, like a triple threat. Because she also directed, so that's the third talent. Let's see. Lavin also provided the voice of Mother Vulture in the animated series Courage the Cowardly Dog for the episode Watch the Birdies. After working in theater for many years, Lavin was cast in the NBC television sitcom Sean Saves the World, which lasted from 2013 to 2014. She played Sean Hayes, pushing meddling mother Lorna. Now, Sean Hayes, I met him on the set of the Three Stooges movie. Yeah, he was in Grace, Roy and Grace, not Roy and Grace. What's that show? Something in Grace. Deborah Messing was the star of that. Sean Hayes, and I think the first break he got was a Doritos Super Bowl ad. I know it was like in 1995. It was the first thing you saw Sean Hayes in. He was a nice, talented guy. Will and Grace, that's it. Will and Grace, I remember now. Will and Grace. But Sean Hayes, I'm trying to think. Yeah, he played Larry in the Three Stooges movie, directed by the Farrelly brothers, and I got to watch him do all sorts of funny stuff. But hey, I'll get back to the chat in a minute. I see there's a lot of comments. I just see it now for the first time. I'm sorry, Mr. Luthor. I'm sorry. Okay, let me. That's a reference to a cut Superman the movie scene. I know nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. Let's see. Otisburg. Just a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I'll wipe it off. All right, so wrapping up here, my remembrance of Linda Lavin. A Los Angeles Times interviewer noted a highlight of the show, Sean Saves the World, is the wonderful chemistry between Linda Lavin and Sean Hayes, who exchange a repertoire and quips with breezy ease, and the cast seems smitten with her, unquote. In 2015, Linda Lavin guest starred as a judge approached to stop an execution in the episode of Bones on Fox television network titled The Verdict in the Victims. Actress Emily Deschano, I never can pronounce her name properly, said Lavin was particularly fun to have on the show, unquote. And Linda Lavin played Judy Roberts on the CBS sitcom 9JKL from 2017 to 2018, opposite Elliot Gould, one of Barbara Streisand's ex-husbands. And, of course, the star of the original MASH movie and many other things, Elliot Gould. Linda Lavin caught up with Portland Magazine, and that's Portland, Maine, not Oregon, in its Winter Guide 2018 issue about her return to CBS, stating, like Alice, 9JKL deals with family relationships, except it's a more sophisticated and edgier show. The people are more privileged and at a higher economic level than Alice. I love to go to work every day. I feel grateful and fortunate for this role, the quality of work, and good people at this stage of my life. Fun and creative are the operative words for me. I'm very committed to participating in projects where I can bring and exchange those qualities with like-minded people, unquote. In 2019, Lavin joined the cast of the Netflix comedy horror Santa Clarita Diet, starring Drew Barrymore. In 2020, Linda Lavin performed the song The Boy From the Mad Show in Take Me to the World, a Sondheim 90th birthday celebration. Linda Lavin appeared in the CBS comedy Be Positive, Letter B Positive, which aired from 2020 until 2022 in a recurring role as Norma, one of the senior citizens at a local retirement home. In June 2024, it was announced that Max Muchnick and David Cohan, with a K, Kohan, had created a Golden Girls-like TV series with Matt Bomer cast as a Betty White's character type and Nathan Lane as Bunny Schneiderman and a B. Arthur type character. Linda Lavin was set to play Lane's mother, Sybil Schneiderman. The series has been picked up by Hulu streaming network and is set in Palm Springs, California, with the working title Mid-Century Modern. At the time of her death, 10 of 13 episodes of the series were filmed and production is currently on hiatus due to Linda Lavin's death. So she was working right up to the end, as I said earlier. All right, let me just say one more thing about Linda Lavin. We'll talk about someone else because I don't want to have a really super long show. In terms of live theater, Linda Lavin began her career with Broadway appearances in the musical A Family Affair in 1962 and plays such as The Riot Act in 1963 and Carl Reiner's Something Different in 1967. In his New York Times review of John Guary's 2 one-act plays, Cop Out in 1969, Clive Barnes wrote, quote, Miss Lavin carries versatility almost to a point of paranoia and camps up a storm, unquote. So she was campy, huh? Lavin also appeared in numerous off-Broadway productions, including the revue Wet Paint in 1965, the musical The Mad Show in 1966, in which she introduced the cabaret standard The Boy From, written by Stephen Soderheim, I talked about earlier, and Mary Rogers. She was also in Little Murders in 1969, and Lavin won the Theater World Award for Wet Paint and Drama Desk Award for Little Murders. In 1975, she appeared in Shakespeare in the Park production of The Comedy of Errors at the Della Corte Theater. All right, a lot of this is repetitive, so let me just do some self-editing here as I'm live. After more than a decade away, Lavin returned to the Broadway stage in 1987, winning a Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play and her second Drama Desk Award for a role as Kate in the Neil Simon play Broadway Bound. Okay. And she always got rave reviews. I think she really, I don't know, just touched my mind and my heart with those performances, especially on Alice, just as a youngster watching that. I liked Tommy Hyatt, played by Philip McKeon. And you know who his little sister is, Nancy McKeon, who was on The Facts of Life as Jo on NBC for all but the first season. So seasons 2 through 9 of that program until 1988. His little sister. And he sadly passed away in 2019 from an undisclosed illness he had a long battle with. Philip McKeon. He grew tall in that show too. Remember, he starred in the clip I played earlier from the opening credits of season 1. He's small, but man, he grew really, really tall. Tall people don't live as long as shorter people. Just saying, they don't. It's a medical fact. It's sad. All right, let's see here. There's a lot more, but I don't want to turn this into the biography channel about Linda Lavin, like her recording career. She appeared in cabaret and concert performances. In 2005, she appeared at the Empire Plush Room in San Francisco, accompanied by Billy Stritch and her husband, Steve Bakunis. The Talkin' Broadway reviewer summed up her performance as this: Linda Lavin is funny, warm, and full of personality. In April 2006, she performed at Birdland, New York, with her critically acclaimed cabaret act, The Song Remembers When, with Billy Stritch. And she performed with the Wilmington Symphony in Wilmington, North Carolina in March of 2012. And I'm going to just wrap here and talk about her personal life a little bit. Linda Lavin was married 3 times. Her first marriage, as I talked about a moment ago, or 10 minutes ago, was to Ron Liebman. It ended in divorce in 1981. Her second marriage, get this, was to Kip Niven. I did not know this. I'll show you who Kip Niven is, whom she met on the set of Alice and ended in a bitter divorce in 1992. Kip Niven was not very good as an actor. It's surprising to me that she took up with him. I have nothing against him. Let me show you who Kip Niven is. He was in the very first episode of The Bionic Woman. Here's who Kip Niven is, or look, that's what he used to look like when he was younger. But that's Kip Niven. He was in The Bionic Woman Part 1, which was a $6 Million Man episode, and The Bionic Woman Part 2, the debut episode from January 1976. That's how he looked in that episode. But that was Linda Lavin's husband, one of the husbands. Okay, so back to Linda's personal life. Okay, so she was married to Kip Niven. I never knew that, whom she met on the set. I guess it was just animal attraction or something, because I never thought he was talented or that special. See, I sound like I'm contradicting myself. I was never attracted to her. respected her. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, so they had a bitter divorce in 1992, Linda Lavin and Kip Niven. While Lavin had no biological children, she was the stepmother of Jim and Kate Niven, the children of her second husband, Kip Niven, and played an active role in their lives and also in the lives of her grandchildren, Grayson, Talon, Toby, Zeke, and Scout, Riley, and Wyatt. She was also the great-grandmother of Zion. She then married the love of her life, Steve Bakunis. The couple resided in Wilmington, North Carolina, where they were committed community members who were working together to rehabilitate impoverished neighborhoods, including renovating many homes, donating a park to the city, and creating a community theater, the Red Barn Studio. In 1997, Linda Lavin founded the Linda Lavin Arts Foundation in Wilmington, North Carolina, quote, to promote and foster the advancement of the performing and visual arts with special emphasis on arts and education. Special emphasis, let me say that again, on arts in education. Her foundation has created a theater program called Girlfriends, whose purpose is to raise the self-esteem of at-risk teenage girls of the inner city, unquote. Now, both of her former husbands, Kip Niven and Liebman, died in 2019, as did Alice co-stars Philip McKeon, talked about that in a moment, and Charles Levin. Henry, the telephone employee and repairman. In Wilmington, North Carolina, Linda Lavin was a stage director. One of her directorial credits was a 1998 production of William Shakespeare's As You Like It, updated to a Brazilian jazz style performance. In both Wilmington and New York, she taught master classes in acting and singing. In September 2012, Linda Lavin announced that she had intended to sell her home in Wilmington, North Carolina, and return to New York City. Lavin and Bakunis lived in New York City circa 2013 to 2014. In July 2016, the luxury living website posted Linda Lavin's Central Park South apartment for sale for $1.25 million. Linda Lavin sadly died from complications of lung cancer in Los Angeles, California on December 29th, 2024 at the age of 87. Yep. And as I said earlier, one of my favorite moments of Alice on the show, Alice, was when she told her ex-mother-in-law to go suck an egg, played by Eileen Heckart as Alice's mother-in-law, the mother of her widowed husband, the truck driver. All right, let's talk about now. So rest in peace, Linda Lavin. I forgot to put her picture up this whole time. Gee, sorry about that. Oh my goodness. Might as well do this. We have a regular segment that we do, and it's called Soul Survivor. So I'm going to find the music for it. What I do on Soul Survivor is I mention a television show or a movie, and I show you a picture of the cast, and you tell me who is the only soul surviving cast member. It's called Soul Survivor.
Survivor. Here we go.
Soul Survivor. Okay, so guess what show I'm going to ask this question of you in the chat. Who is the soul surviving cast member of the cast member scene here of Alice? People have already guessed in the chat, but anyone who's here late, take a guess. I've already revealed the answer, but that was a pretty long bit I did, but it was deservedly so. Joe Gutfeld in New York City guessed Polly Holiday. Cindy D guessed Flo. Rick Klunk guessed The Kid. Well, it is Polly Holiday as Flo. Also, who's still alive is Diane Ladd, who played Belle only in, let me see what season. She was in one season. She did not get along with Linda Lavin. Linda Lavin and her butted heads, and Linda got rid of her. Diane Ladd, who was the original Flo from the movie Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, she played Belle in the show. Belle's still alive. Let me just get you some quick information on the fly. And Diane Ladd was married to Bruce Dern. She's the mother of Laura Dern, incidentally. Okay. Yes, so not including people. Diane Ladd, who played Isabel, Belle Dupree, is still around, as is Celia Weston, who played Jolene. She's still alive, too. She's 73, born on December 14th, 51. She just turned 73, talking about Celia. And Diane Ladd is 89 years of age. She was born on November 29th, 1935. Let's see here. Let me figure out. I said I would do this. Diane Ladd was on Alice in season. I have them all on DVD, and I cannot remember off the top of my head if it was season 4. She was in 1980 to 1981. Okay, so 76 to 77, 77, 79, 80, 80. Season 5 of Dallas. Hell, that's 6. Yeah, because there's Jolene. All right, let me hold this up for the camera. Oh shoot, I gotta take the picture off. There's season 6 on DVD. So it was season 5. Okay, and the spinoff Flo only lasted 2 seasons. Technically, really a season and a half. There's the 7th season on DVD. I've never even opened it. I haven't gotten that far. I watched the first 6 like 5 years ago, and then I got distracted with other things, and I quit watching it. I need to watch them uncut. And I will. I haven't even opened that one, but like a Thanksgiving episode there. So let's see. Good job. Good job. Yes. Back on my phone. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's why it said Rick Klunk. Yes, a good job, Cindy D. It was Polly Holiday of that photo. Let me see if I had any other pictures. I showed you the Wanderlust premiere photo of Linda, the movie I worked on. And let's see. Okay, so we can talk about some other people that passed away. Let's talk about Jimmy Carter real quick. It's not a political show, but I got an interesting factoid about Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter admitted to have lust in his heart for a certain Playboy playmate, Patty McGuire, who wound up marrying Jimmy Connors, the tennis pro. And this is from my collection. I have the issue, the first issue, and look, it says right on the cover, now, the real Jimmy Carter on politics, religion, the press, and sex in an incredible Playboy interview. I have lust in my heart. It was a minor controversy back then in 1976, but boy, Bill Clinton sure did say, hold my beer. He's like, I just don't have lust in my heart. I got lust in my pants. Hey, give me that cigar box. Come over here. But Patty McGuire wound up being Playmate of the Year, incidentally, in 1977. I have that issue, too. They're in the background. We're family show. I'm certainly not going to show nudity, but there's the 77. The 76, I think, is behind it. And no, Rick, the pages do not stick together. They're in plastic. I knew you're probably going to say that in comment, but there's that issue. It was a great interview with Jimmy Carter. I collect Playboy for the interviews, folks. Yeah, right. No, I'm kidding. But big old cigarette ad. Carlton is lowest in tar. And Winston, big cigarette. Remember how cigarettes were all over magazines? I think they still are. They used to always be on the back of TV Guide magazine. All right, don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Okay, don't fall. Talking to my little props. So that's my little factoid about Jimmy Carter. It was a big deal back then. And I just remember as a kid, there was Anita Bryant who got in trouble for making disparaging remarks about homosexuals. I remember around that same time. I just having a flashback. I just remember that. But let's get back to, we're talking about the people who we lost in 2024 and our friends at Remind Magazine. By the way, might as well tell you, you can, I got to check and make sure this was extended. You can give yourself or someone on their birthday the gift of Remind Magazine for just $12 for the first year. And then it goes to $24 if you renew it for year 2. That's still a dramatic savings off the cover price, which is $6, which is $5.99 plus tax. You can order this special for yourself with any major credit card over the phone or online. If you want to do it online, go to remindmagazine.com. And Remind is all about the 1950s through the 1990s. There's brain-teasing puzzles and games and prizes. Please mention the Nostalgic Podblast when you order. Remind Magazine does a great job. In fact, let's talk about some other people that passed away. And then there's some really good people that are still alive. And then I've got to get to the trivia. It was requested by Mr. Joe Gutfeld. But yeah, we lost so many people. Thanks to Remind Magazine. Appreciate the support. Let me get, I'm going to open the magazine up and we're going to look at it together really quickly. And then I'm going to talk about the character actor of the week next after that. So we open it up and there it is. John Amos, Mr. McDowell, he passed away sadly. And there he is with the great Lou Gossett Jr. And of course he was in Good Times. Damn. James Earl Jones talked about him extensively. The voice of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones, and so much more. Maggie Smith. I liked her in Clash of the Titans. I'm not much of a Harry Potter fan. I don't disparage anyone. I think it's just not for me, not my generation. David Soul from Starsky and Hutch passed away. Donald Sutherland. Let's see. I don't want to give it all away. I want to give people a reason to buy the magazine, but it's been out a little while. So James Earl Jones died at the age of 93. He was born January 17th, 1931. He died on September 9th, 2024. Wow. I talked all about him, so I won't just have a rerun within a rerun here. I already talked about it recently when he did pass. Maggie Smith was 89, born December 28th, 1934. She died on September 27th, 2024 at the age of 89. Let me just try to do this quickly. David Soul was 80. I already talked about him extensively. Look for the thumb. If you're listening to the Nostalgic Podblast on Apple or Podbean or Spotify or Fistful of Radio out of Atlanta, and you want to see what I'm talking about, just use the search engine of your choice. I prefer Google. You may not like Google, whatever you use, Bing or whatever. Google search The Nostalgic with a C, not nostalgia, The Nostalgic Podblast. And right at the top, you'll see the YouTube channel. Click that, then click the live tab, and you'll see a thumbnail image of folks that passed away in the entertainment world in 2024. There's Donald Sutherland. He died at the age of 88. I liked him in Animal House. He played that creepy professor, that pot-smoking professor who was with Karen Allen, her character, before she was marrying and raised the Lost Ark. Lou Gossett Jr. met him, have his autograph. Great actor. He was in an old show I love, The Invaders, in an episode titled The Vice in season 2 of that program, which still runs on MeTV, I believe, but they put it in the wee hours, like early morning, like 5 a.m., I think. Lou Gossett Jr., Jaws 3D, of course, Officer and a Gentleman, that's what won him an Oscar. But I just thought he was really, really cool. And he lived in Atlanta in his twilight years. Donald Sutherland, Simply Orange, with that lisp. Born July 17th, 1935, died June 20th, 2024. Did I mention Lou Gossett? He passed March 29th, 2024, born May 27th, 1936. Bob Newhart. Now, he's one of those people, a lot of people thought he was already gone, but he wasn't gone. He died at the age of 94 on July 18th, 2024. He was born way back on September 5th, 1929. During the run of the classic Bob Newhart show from 1972 to 1978 on CBS, a producer pulled the unassuming star aside and asked if Newhart could reduce his stammering because the episodes were running long. Newhart said, "No, that stammer bought me a house in Beverly Hills," he wryly recalled in his 2006 memoir. Let's see who wrote this. I want to give credit to the writer of this article really quickly. It doesn't say. Maybe it does at the end. I'll tell you who wrote these pieces here. Dabney Coleman talked about him a lot. Mr. Hart in 9 to 5 and so much more. I mean, I could go on and on. Still blows my mind that he hosted Saturday Night Live in 1987 in the Thanksgiving weekend for 1987. Carl Weathers, the guy who played Apollo Creed, who beat Rocky. Carl Weathers. Great actor. Predator. Oh, man. Carl Weathers, born January 14th, 1948, died February 2nd, 2024. Not too long after his birthday. His 76th birthday. Dabney Coleman died back on May 16th, 2024 at the age of 92. Mitzi Gaynor. She died at the age of 93. Richard Lewis, a funny man. He was on Late Night with David Letterman and The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Very neurotic personality. Always talking about his therapist and therapy. I really liked him. Richard Lewis, born June 29th, 1947. He passed away on February 27th, 2024. Shannon Doherty died at the age of 53 on July 13th, 2024. Best known for playing Brenda Walsh on Beverly Hills 90210 on Fox for the first 4 seasons of that show. And she also was in Charmed. A lot of people like Charmed. I didn't care for Charmed. Sorry. But she was in Charmed before she lost that gig as well, allegedly because of bad behavior on and off the set. Aaron Spelling had no choice but to get rid of her from Beverly Hills 90210 for drunken antics and things. And she tore up her rented home and let her dog just run wild, allegedly. But I liked her acting. She was talented. She was also in Little House, A New Beginning. And then I talked all about Chuck Woolery. Died at 83 on November 23rd, 2024. Last year, the original host of Wheel of Fortune on NBC. And then Phil Donahue, one of the first Pablum pushers. He was long before Jerry Springer and the like. He died at the age of 88. And he was the husband of Marlo Thomas, that girl. And also the daughter of Danny Thomas from the Danny Thomas Show. But Phil Donahue was born on December 21st, 1935. He died on August 18th, 2024 at the age of 88. Chris Christopherson. I played his son in Joyful Noise in one little scene, his funeral scene at the beginning of a movie called Joyful Noise. And I'm also the son of Dolly Parton in that movie, sitting right next to Dolly in the funeral scene. I have one line, amen. The director, Todd Graff of Joyful Noise, thought I resembled Chris Christopherson. Anyway, it's on YouTube on my other channel, Chance Acting Demo. Terry Garr talked a lot about her, loved her on Late Night with David Letterman. Chris Christopherson, by the way, his music, my God. I mean, I like Convoy, that movie he did about the renegade truckers. But Chris Christopherson died on September 28th, 2024 at the age of 88. He was born on June 22nd, 1936. And Chris Christopherson, got to pause and talk about him. He was an awesome talent, and he was a Rhodes Scholar. I don't know if you know that. It says here in Remind Magazine, Chris Christopherson had the gravely growl and rugged looks of a true Texas-born troublemaker. But his resume was pure Renaissance man, a Rhodes Scholar, rugby star, a bartender, Golden Gloves boxer, a railroad worker, acclaimed singer, songwriter, and actor, an Army Ranger who championed peace. He was offered a teaching job at West Point, and Christopherson headed to Nashville instead, working odd jobs until he decided to put his Army skills to use and landed a helicopter in Johnny Cash's front yard. Johnny Cash rewarded the stunt, recording Chris Christopherson's song Sunday Morning Coming Down, like from a hangover, excuse me, which won Song of the Year at the 1970 Country Music Association Awards and set Chris Christopherson's songwriting career in motion. Hits like Me and Bobby McGee, Help Me Make It Through the Night, and For the Good Times followed, as did a lengthy acting career, including the 1976 smash A Star Is Born. That movie's been remade so many times, hasn't it? That was a remake. Co-starring Barbara Streisand. The thrice married Christopherson was 88 when he died. Wow. Shelley Duvall, she kind of hit Skid Row towards the end of her life. I hate reading about that, but she died at the age of 75 on July 11th, 2024. She was born on July 7th, 1949. She died right after her final birthday, 75th. I don't like to say they died. I like to say they stopped aging. That's just me, out of respect to the people that really meant a lot to us growing up, especially Gen Xers and whatnot. But did you know this? Shelley Duvall was a 20-year-old department store sales girl in Houston, Texas, when she threw a party attended by director Robert Altman, who was in town to shoot his 1970 film, Brewster McCloud. Shelley Duvall's quirky, doe-eyed looks like a deer, a doe, a female deer, a deer, a female deer. I can't sing tonight. I never can sing. But her doe-eyed looks and buoyant personality landed her a role in the film, rather. And in 6 other Altman productions, including McCabe and Mrs. Miller in 1971, 1974's Thieves Like Us. I have that on 16mm film. It's a period piece movie. She was in Nashville in 1975, but I remember it was Olive Oil. I mean, of course, The Shining, but I loved her as Olive Oil. I loved her in Popeye. Just a great character face. Shelley Duvall described director Stanley Kubrick's impact on her future role selection as this, quote, If you want to get into pain and call it art, she said, go ahead, but not with me. Unquote. She enjoyed an acclaimed second career creating children's programming. But Duvall's increasingly fragile mental health eventually drove her far from Hollywood, and she vanished from the screen in the early 2000s. She died at age 75 from complications of diabetes. God rest her soul. Martin Mull talked a lot about him, Fernwood, tonight. He died at the age of 80 on July 27th, 2024. Talked all about him. Richard Simmons, he was buried in those short shorts. I just joking. I mean, I liked Richard Simmons. He was a larger-than-life personality, had those little red and white striped short shorts. I liked his banter with David Letterman. Hey, Dave! He was just a character. Sorry if I broke your eardrums there. That was annoying as F, I admit. But Richard Simmons was born on July 12th, 1948, and he passed at the age of 76 on July 13th, 2024. Remember Deal a Meal? He did those infomercials. He helped a lot of women lose weight. He did. He made a difference. He was, he was big himself. I mean, he talked about it a lot in those infomercials. Just a good guy. I never met the guy, but you could tell he was a good soul. Oh man. Talked about John Amos on the show. So if I've covered these people when they passed, then I won't go into too much detail. And I have a lot more to cover. That's not just about, we lost these stars in 2024, but John Amos from Good Times, there's a good photo of him in Remind magazine. He was born on December 27, 1939. He died on August 21st, 2024. Gina Rowlands. I didn't like that movie, The Notebook. I'm sorry. Ryan Gosling. Women love it. I should like it. I'll probably get more dates. It's a good date movie. But Gina Rowlands passed at 94. She did so much more than The Notebook. But I liked her opposite the great. Hang on a second. James Garner, who played the older Ryan. Let me just read this. Gina Rowlands, she was born on June 19th, 1930. She died on August 14th, 2024. Wisconsin-born Virginia Gina Rowlands rose to cinematic fame by bucking the Hollywood studio system alongside her husband, actor, director, screenwriter, John. Cassavetes. I'm probably mispronounced it. Sorry, sir. Throughout the 1950s, Gina Rowlands developed her skills in television dramas until MGM offered her a small contract. One she broke when she learned she was pregnant, setting in motion a lifelong devotion to putting her family first. Talking about Gina Rowlands. Okay. I didn't care for her. I'm sorry. Just some personalities, I didn't care for her. I'm sorry. I sound like Al Hardy. Didn't care for her. All right. Cheetah Rivera. I liked her. She died at the age of 91 on January 30th, 2024, right at the beginning of last year. She was born on January 23rd, 1933. If dazzling is an overused word in certain circles, let me read this. Rest assured, it fit this longtime queen of musical theater to a T. Her astonishing career, which stretched from 7 decades, featured Olympic-like dance leaps, a voice that could give you chills, and performances that routinely brought the house down. Nominated for 10 Tony Awards and winning 2, she was the master of creating signature parts. First, originating the Broadway role of Anita in 1957's West Side Story. And Rita Moreno won an Oscar for the 1961 film version of West Side Story. And she was Rose in 1960's Bye Bye Birdie opposite Dick Van Dyke. But Janet Leigh got the movie role. Who's the mom of Jamie Lee Curtis, incidentally. And later, premiering as a murderous nightclub singer, Velma Kelly in 1975 Chicago. A severe car accident in 1986 derailed her for a little while. She shattered her left leg, requiring a dozen screws and several surgeries. But she returned and toured the country in several more shows, bringing her gifts to a grateful America, which honored her in 2009 with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She died following a short illness at age 91. This is a big one here. Dr. Ruth Westheimer. She was a syndicated radio host talking about sex problems, a sex talk show in the 80s. I listened to it just because I was a kid, you know, and I was shocked. Absolutely. I was dumbfounded by some of the things that she said. Family show, but I'll say one thing. It's informative. I'm never into this practice, but I don't know if I should say this on there, but she said it on the air. She said, I was like, is this lady crazy? She said, if you've had intercourse and you're going to do the anal sex, make sure you wash first. Like, weird. I've never been to an anal thing. That's just me. I'm sorry, family show. But there's Dr. Ruth. She certainly made an impact. She was more shocking to me than Howard Stern ever was. You know, back then. That was even before Howard Stern. I was like, God. But she made it to age 96. She was born on June 4th, 1928. She died on July 12th, 2024. Wow. And the final honeymooner survivor, Joyce Randolph, Trixie, otherwise known as Trixie Norton on TV, passed at the age of 99. She was born on October 21st, 1924. She died on January 13th, 2024. Hey, Norton! Remember the Eddie Murphy bit? Hey, Norton, when I bend over, a family show. I just love that Eddie Murphy bit. He's got to be, I think he's my second favorite living comedian. My favorite comedian of all time is Richard Pryor and then George Carlin. But they're both sadly gone. And then, hey, Tracy's History Fractured Memories and More. She's a soap opera fan. Remember Drake, of course, from Days of Our Lives. He was on that show for a long time. He did scenes opposite Deidre Hall, Electra Woman, in the Sid and Marty Krofft universe for just one season, 1976-77. But anyway, he did a lot of scenes of Deidre Hall in Days of Our Lives. That was a big loss for a lot of people. He was born on September 29th, 1953, and he died at the age of 70 on September 28th, 2024. And then Bill Hayes, he was one of the originals on Days of Our Lives. He made it to age 98. He was born June 5th, 1925. He passed on January 12th, 2024. Also remembering, let's see, let me look here. Marla Adams, Doug Sheehan. Okay, I never heard a lot of these people, so we only talk about the people that we met. Toby Keith, how do you like me now? Can't believe he's gone. He was older than I thought, though. He died at the age of 62 on February 5th, 2024. Born on July 8th, 1961. After his breakout single, Should Have Been a Cowboy, in 1993, American country singing sensation Toby Keith became one of the most successful musicians in the genre during his 3-decade tenure as a music charts topper. In all, he recorded and released 19 studio albums and was nominated for 7 Grammy Awards. He was awarded the National Medal of Arts by President Donald Trump in 2021 and inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame soon after his death in February from stomach cancer. Rest in peace, Toby Keith. And then also Melanie died at the age of 76. I have some also that are not in this print, like Olivia Hussey. Oh, that was a bit. I have her picture. I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, Melanie died. John Mayall died at the age of 90. Jeez. Phil Lesh. Richard Tandy. Quincy Jones, who had, of course, did the theme to Sanford and Son, and so much more. Let me read about Quincy Jones. I didn't really cover him adequately on the Podblast. He died on November 3rd, 2024. Born March 14th, 1933. He was 91. Let me just read what Remind Magazine had to say. It's hard to say what record producer and Grammy Award-winning musician Quincy Jones is most known for. Over the course of 7 decades, the jack-of-all-trades artist produced 3 of the most successful Michael Jackson pop albums, composed many hit scores for films, including songs for In the Heat of the Night, In Cold Blood, based on the Truman Capote book, In Cold Blood, which ironically starred Robert Blake, The Italian Job, and The Wiz, the urban version of The Wizard of Oz, and was the father of Parks and Recreation actress Rashida Jones, as well as 6 other children. And Rashida's mom, of course, was Peggy Lipton from the Mod Squad. We like her. Or liked her. She's gone too. She was in an Invaders episode, Wall of Crystal. Peggy Lipton before Mod Squad. And there's the Sanford and Son soundtrack with Quincy Jones's music right there in the background. Sorry, listeners. It's just a It's just a record album cover. I was trying to change a shot and I muted my mic. Okay, moving along. What else about it? What I like about Quincy Jones, he did the theme to Sanford and Son, but he also collaborated with Bill Cosby for a game show theme, Now You See It. I can play the end title of it. It's heavily copyrighted. I'm going to play a little bit of it. It's just 1 minute and 49 seconds long. But this is Now You See It, which is a great game show that was hosted by Jack Nars. I talked all about it, so I won't rehash all that. It's on the Podblast. If you look for Jack Nars' thumbnail image from Concentration, the NBC game show, you can learn all about it. But this is music by Bill Cosby, The Cause, and Quincy Jones. This is Now You See It.
All right. Sorry you didn't get all the way up to the top, but Billy, you did win, and you'll be back tomorrow. And again, you'll have another try at our bank, which tomorrow will be worth $9,000. There for you or perhaps one of your 4 competitors. And until that time, which is tomorrow, of course, this is Jack Nars saying so long for Now You See It. Goodbye, friends.
Many future contestants for Now You See It are selected from our studio audience. So if you'd like to be part of that audience, then write for tickets to Now You See It. Tickets, CBS Television City, 7800 Beverly Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90036. This is Johnny Olson speaking for Now You See It, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. This program was edited for broadcast. Stay tuned for Love of Life next over most of these CBS stations.
Comment in the chat. Rick Clark, watching on Facebook Live, says she was in Valley of the Dolls 2, the movie. The sequel. Now, the reason I wanted to highlight that was, you know who wrote that? It was Roger Ebert, the film critic. Check. Okay, we're on the air. I thought that music took me down off YouTube. So that's Now You See It, written by the late, great Quincy Jones. Well, I got to change my camera shot so you can see these images better from the magazine. Got to get to some more features. God, I'm running out of time. Tito Jackson, one of the Jackson 5. He passed away at the age of 70. God rest his soul. Tito, he was born October 15th, 1953. He passed on September 15th, 2024. Wow. Jack Russell died at the age of 63 on August 7th, 2024. Wow. Great White. Mike Pinder. Oh my God. Elvira. John Bonsall. John Bonsall passed away. Hang on a second. Let me clear the chat. Oh, damn. I'll get back to the chat. Oak Ridge Boys, right? Yeah. He was born May 18th, 1948, died July 9th, 2024 at the age of 76. Only months after he announced he would not be part of the Oak Ridge Boys 50th anniversary tour, longtime member Joe Bonsall succumbed to complications from lateral sclerosis, ALS. Sad. All right. Wayne Osmond passed. We're going to talk about him in a minute. Wayne Osmond, one of the Osmond brothers. God. Oh, Abdul Fakir. I loved him. He actually appeared in the Fall Guy episode. But remember Duke? Abdul Duke Fakir. He passed on July 22nd, 2024 at the age of 88. Here's who I'm talking about. Motown. A Motown star. He was born and died in Detroit, Michigan, the home of Motown Records, which is where he made his name. Man, 4 tops. So there's an audio engineer who made a big difference. I mean, there's all sorts of interesting. This magazine is so great. And speaking of Bill Clinton, I was making a joke about Bill when I talk about Jimmy Carter's lust in his heart, but Bill had lust in his loins. Something about Bill Clinton's in here. Back in the year 1999. What does it say about Bill Clinton? I see something about Bill Gates. Get the magazine and read it for yourself. Great issue. Thanks to Remind Magazine. I'm gonna mosey along, and there's other YouTube videos out there about the stars that passed away in 2024. There was a heck of a lot more than the ones we covered tonight, but these were like the highlights, you know. Make sure I talked about everyone in my thumbnail, and then we're gonna hustle along because we've gone an hour and 49 minutes. I'm trying to keep this to under 3 hours for a whole bunch of reasons. It's just too long a show. I don't want to go 6 hours anymore. That's crazy. Even though you can listen in stages, which is what I encourage. It's like, Chance, it's called I've heard this from many people. It's called a 2-parter. Danny Staten tells me that. Okay, so here is the picture. I showed this before. I want to make sure I talked about everyone in the thumbnail. Yeah, Shelley Duvall. Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we're good. I think we're good. We're good. We're good. Now I'm going to talk about a birthday real quick of someone who's still alive. She just turned 75. Talking about Victoria Principal. Oh, God, I didn't mean to pull that one up. Damn. I'm sorry, family show. Victoria Principal. Sorry about that. God, I'm sorry. That might get me in trouble on YouTube. Oh, crap. Oh, my God. Did you know Victoria Principal was born in Japan? She also was a Playboy Playmate. Oh, my God. Let me get to the character actor of the week. Let me just tell you a little bit about Victoria Principal. Oh, my God. I can't believe I showed that. Listeners, an unfortunate image of Victoria Principal topless. 2 pictures just popped up. Oh, I'm really sorry about that, family folks. I'm probably going to pay the price. Watch the stream go down now. So, I had to be careful with this too, just reading about Victoria Principal because of where she was born. Let me put her, is the image up? Okay. Happy 75th birthday to former actress, entrepreneur, and author Victoria Principal, who was born on Tuesday, January 3rd, 1950 in Fukuoka, Japan. And I just noticed a typo in my little Nostalgic Podblast Facebook group posting. Where is that? Wait a minute. It was born on, but it says is. It's in. I got to, because if you say that too fast, it'll sound like a dirty word. That town in Japan she was born in. Make sure I get it right. It is Fukuoka, Japan. Happy 75th birthday. I loved her on Dallas, and she was also in The Odd Life of Timothy Green, a great movie with Paul Newman. I think he directed it, and her character had a dire fate in that movie, but man, was she pretty. And still is. Really good stuff. Okay, so happy birthday to you. I didn't get to play my birthday music I normally play, but let's move along and start talking about our character actor of the week. Let's see where my script went. I do have some other nostalgic tidbits to get to in a little bit too, and then our trivia if there's time. If Mr. Gutfeld's still out there, let's talk about. Oh, and some other people that passed. I didn't mention that O.J. Simpson, the controversial O.J. Simpson, died also in 2024. You didn't see an article on him in Remind magazine. I can understand why. He took the lives of 2 people, most likely. Unbelievable. Let me, I think I had a clip, not of OJ. That's all. I'm just going to mention that OJ died in 2024, and that's all I got to say about him for obvious reasons, because very, very, wow, unbelievable, man. But talk about a pop culture schism in 1994 when all that went down. The Bronco, I mean, who could forget? Whew. And the verdict being read in 1995. That all killed Family Feud. Richard Dawson returned to Family Feud for a 1-hour syndicated version in the 94-95 season. The ratings tank as everybody watching the OJ trial on Court TV and CNN with Greta Van Susteren and the like. Everybody's watching the OJ trial. Thought I had a clip to play. Let me see. At this point, I should probably, before I get to the character actor of the week, take a little break. Let's do a little karaoke together. I'm not going to sing. Don't worry. Don't be afraid. You look at the lyrics, because these are lyrics I misunderstood all these years till I saw this in preparation of tonight's Podblast. This is the Little River Band reminiscing, but it's the karaoke version. Let's just watch. I got to rest my vocal cords for a second and take a deep breath. Here we go. like that. A lot of great comments I saw. I put them on the screen. I was reading them. Yeah. Peggy Lipton, Rick, was definitely gorgeous. Absolutely. And that Invaders, it's so sad. She's like killed before the opening credits. But suffocates because aliens have this crystal that sucks the oxygen out of the air. And anyway, they have a car accident or something. A lot of good facts from Danny Staton too. Gina Rowlands, I put it on the screen. Greatest movie role was in Gloria in 1980. Check out that movie. Cindy D says Rena was good and something to talk about with Julia Roberts, Gina, and Hope Floats with Sandra Bullock. Absolutely. You know, I shouldn't have said I didn't care for her. Solid advice. Rick Clark says Toby Keith was musically great. Tracy says, I used to watch Days of Our Lives. Yeah. And I watched General Hospital. Peggy Lipton was hot. Yep. And I know you know how to spell it. It's Lipton, like Lipton soup or Lipton tea. Remember they made soup too? Chicken noodle soup. Cindy D said, my mom loved it. Tracy and many other soaps, including all My Children, otherwise known as All My Kids, and Guiding Light. The only one I watched was, I did watch Days of Our Lives like 10, 11 years ago, around 2011, 2012, some wild storylines where Rafe got duplicated. There was some thug took his face or something or impersonated him. This terrible scene. He chokes out a major character's mom in the hospital with a pillow or something. I was like, God, that's harsh, man. Rafe. And EJ. I like EJ Demera on Days of Our Lives, played by James Scott, who retired from acting, British actor. He reminded me of Cal in Titanic. I don't know. I like that acting, man. He was good. He liked that Sammy. Oh, man. Rick Clark says, I saw the Oak Ridge Boys in the 1990s. The lead guy was whacked on cocaine. Damn. Tracy says, clarifies, now I just watched General Hospital. Danny Staton said something. Oh, he's probably referring to my little slip up there showing Victoria Principal topless. He says, best show ever. She was gifted also, says Rick Clark. And then our friend Super Mod Keebler put the phone number up. Anybody wants to call in, 770-438-1050. Just leave a comment too. I don't mind if you call, but some people like to do that. I meant lip. I know what you mean. I knew you knew how to spell it. It doesn't even matter. Spelling doesn't count here. Danny Staton says, weird. Both guys who played Roman Brady on Days of Our Lives died in 2024. I didn't make that connection. You're right. You're right. But there were some real good storylines, man. And don't you hate it when they recast someone? Like I like Taylor. There was a character named Taylor that EJ Demera was in love with or lusting after, and the original actress was so pretty, and then they recast her with someone else who was attractive, but I like the original actress who played Taylor. I know somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. All right, let's get back on track here and talk about the character actor of the week. We also lost, I meant to mention this, Wayne Osmond, which I did mention. And by the way, there was a great channel on YouTube called Dave's Osmond Videos that's gone. I think it got terminated for copyright, maybe. I don't know. But it's gone. So I went into my videotape. I taped this off Nick at Night back in 1990, Christmas Eve, 1990. I'm going to play a clip because Wayne Osmond just died, but it's also going to feature at the beginning of the clip our character actor of the week. This guy is a trip, and I have another funny clip of him after that. So let's watch this, and you'll hear the Osmond brothers singing Music Through the Ages. This is from the Donnie Marie Show, 1976 into 1977 on ABC TV, which was aired on Nick at Night, just a one-time special back in 1990, and I taped it off that. And the tape is starting to go bad. When I converted it today for this show digitally, the audio is good, but the video, it goes weird. But let's watch it because you're going to see the character actor of the week right at the top, and I'll tell you a little bit more about him. This guy was a trip.
Miss B. Cash. Oh, look at this, the couple on top of the cake. Hello. Hello. You must be the bride. Here's the bouquet. Got her on that one.
Donnie said that you're a very exclusive caterer.
I am. It's the only part I worked all year. Anyway. Rip, I'm so insecure.
Rip, you told me you were going to bring some unusual food.
These are unusual food?
Yeah.
An Ivy League football? It's not unusual. Holy mackerel! Oh, hello? Oh, look at this. The potato from MASH. You can't see it all on this side. Aretha Franklin sent this. Oh, look at this. Howard Cosell's dental floss. Jimmy Carter's tongue depressor. You could borrow that, big mouth. Oh, did I? Pardon me, just a sec. Look at this, Annette Funicello. Oh, look at this, and finally, King Kong's Q-tip. I have to go now.
I gotta go, too.
I'm having a ball, Marie. Oh, good Lord, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rip Taylor! And now, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers, the Osmonds.
That was a pretty good jam, I thought. I'm sorry, the tape, I don't know what happened. I guess this tape's starting to go bad, JVC, but rest in peace to Wayne Osmond in all sincerity there. They were really a good band, I thought. And I thought that was one of their better little bits they did on the Donnie Marie show. And they did so many great bits. So rest in peace there to Wayne Osmond. Now, the character actor of the week you saw there talking about Rip Taylor. I have another clip that you're going to, unbelievable clip of him. But real quick, this is very brief. It's nothing like the long tribute I did to Linda Lavin, but our character actor of the week, Rip Taylor. And good night to Rick Clark, by the way. He was born as Charles Elmer Taylor Jr. on January 13th, 1931. He passed away on October 6th, 2019. He was an actor, comedian known for his exuberance and flamboyant personality, as you saw in that clip from the Donnie Marie Show, late 1976, including his wild mustache, his toupee, and his habit of showering himself and others with confetti. Boy, he was showering old Donnie there. The Hollywood Reporter called Rip Taylor, quote, a television and nightclub mainstay for more than 6 decades who made thousands of nightclub and television appearances. Charles Elmer Taylor Jr. was born in Washington, D.C., the son of Elizabeth Sue Evans, who lived from 1911 to the year 2000, a waitress and former government clerk, and Charles Elmer Taylor. He passed back in 1933, just 2 years after Rip was born. But his dad, Charles Elmer Taylor, was a musician. His father died when he was just 2 years old. I just said that. I was thinking, sorry. As described in his 2010 one-man show titled It Ain't All Confetti, Rip Taylor had a tough childhood, which included being molested while in foster care and having to deal with bullies in school. As a teenager, he attended the Capitol Page School. Rip Taylor worked as a congressional page before serving in the Korean War. He was in the U.S. Army Signal Corps. Although assigned to the Corps, he was sent to Special Services, the entertainment wing of the military, where he performed for the troops in Tokyo, Japan, and in Korea. Rip Taylor's career in show business began when he joined the U.S. Army, where he started performing stand-up in clubs and restaurants abroad while also performing for the troops. After his military service and back in the USA, he focused on his nightclub career. His mainstay material was pantomiming record albums. His favorites were Yiddish folk songs and Spike Jones tunes. He said that ended one day when the record player broke. Quote, I haven't shut up since, unquote. In the mid-1950s, he worked the strip clubs all along the eastern coast of the USA. Although much of his material included jokes stolen from acts he saw at USO shows, his first signature piece would be to pretend to cry while begging the audience for laughs. Please like me. He found that he could get a bigger response that way. His booking started to get more upscale, and he played all over Miami Beach, Florida, which had become a winter destination for the wealthy. Jackie Gleason moved to Miami from New York, for an example there. All right, Rip Taylor was also a mainstay in the summer playground of the wealthy in the Catskills Mountains. A booking agent from the Ed Sullivan Show attended his show one night, and Taylor would spend a week's salary on champagne to get the audience boisterous. He first appeared on the show in 1961 and made about 20 appearances on the Ed Sullivan Show. Sullivan would forget his name, saying, "Get me the crying comedian." In addition to the Ed Sullivan Show, I have a picture. Hang on a second. I meant to show this. I'm trying to improve the show each and every week. And I have a nice picture of Rip Taylor, so you know what I'm talking about. And I'm almost done with this segment on Rip Taylor, but where is it? There we go. Rip Taylor. Let me change my camera shot. You can see the side of my fat head. Damn. There. Okay, let me slide over here. So Rip Taylor. In addition to the Ed Sullivan Show, Rip Taylor appeared on the Jackie Gleason Show in several guest appearances during the 1963 to 1964 season as the crying comedian. Rip Taylor's signature confetti tossing gag came from an appearance in the 1960s Merv Griffin Show, where he was bombing as a stand-up comedian. Quote, I did props and I was the prop comedian, unquote. I was dying like hell on Merv Griffin's show. The jokes were dumb, and I tore the 5x8 cards, threw them up in the air, and it became confetti, he recalled. I knocked over his desk. I walked up the aisle. I went to Sardi's and said, well, that's the end of my television career. I went home that night. Their switchboard had lit up. They said, get that guy that went crazy, unquote. Rip Taylor became somewhat of a fixture in Las Vegas, Nevada. He was the opener for Eleanor Powell's dance-focused review and would go on to warm up audiences for headliners Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Anne Margaret, Debbie Reynolds, Frankie Lane, Judy Garland, and the Kingston Trio. In the 1970s, Rip Taylor won Las Vegas Entertainer of the Year 3 times. He appeared in 2 1968 episodes of The Monkees. Snarky, if you're still out there. She's a big fan of the Monkees. He appeared, Rip Taylor, in 2 1968 episodes of The Monkees. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees, as well as having a cameo in their 1969 special, 33 1/3 Revolutions Per Monkey. He continued to work as a voice performer in the 1970s cartoon series Here Comes the Grump as the title character, and in the second edition of the Addams Family cartoon series in 1992 as the voice of Uncle Fester. I did not know that. Throughout the 1970s, Rip Taylor was a frequent celebrity guest panelist on television game shows such as The Hollywood Squares, To Tell the Truth, The Gong Show, and he substituted for Charles Nelson Riley on Match Game. He became a regular on Sid and Marty Krofft's Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, playing Sheldon, a sea genie who lived in a conch shell. In addition, Taylor was also a regular on the Brady Bunch Variety Hour, playing the role of neighbor/performer Jack Merrill. He also hosted, a short-lived send-up of beauty pageants titled The $1.98 Beauty Show, created by Chuck Barris, producer and host of The Gong Show, in 1978. Rip Taylor appeared as a celebrity on the 1990 version of Match Game, which is airing on Buzzer Network in 2025. I don't care for the host of that, the 1990 version. I'm sorry. I think he's still alive. Just didn't like him. In 1979, Rip Taylor was the voice of CJ from the Hanna-Barbera television movie Scooby Goes Hollywood. Rip Taylor's other appearances include The Kids in the Hall, where he was referred to as Uncle Rip by Buddy Cole, the show's most flamboyantly gay character. Rip Taylor also appeared as himself in the movie Wayne's World 2, one of the special guests invited to Waynestock after being visited in a dream by Jim Morrison. Rip Taylor made, quote, dozens of mayhem-filled appearances, unquote, on The Tonight Show and The Mike Douglas Show. In 1990, Rip Taylor voiced the genie in DuckTales, the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp, and Rip Taylor appeared uncredited on a December 1994 edition of WWF Monday Night Raw. He assisted another wrestler, and they pushed Jeff Jarrett. Are you still out there, Danny Staten? You probably knew that. In 1997, Rip Taylor appeared in a segment on the show Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction. He played the role of Elmo Middleton in the segment titled The Man in the Model T. Also in 1997, Rip Taylor appeared as himself on the sitcom Brotherly Love in the episode titled Easy Come, Easy Go. He also portrayed Chief Undersecretary Wardle in the graphical adventure game Zork Grand Inquisitor in 1997. In 2003, Rip Taylor also appeared as himself on Will and Grace. In 2005, Rip Taylor appeared as himself on an episode of The George Lopez Show, and Taylor guest starred as Chef Rappin' Rip in 4 episodes of Life with Bonnie. Rip Taylor guest starred in The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody in the episode titled Loosely Ballroom as Leo. He also acted in some episodes of The Emperor's New School as the voice of the Royal Record Keeper. He was also in the Jetix animated series Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. And Rip Taylor made several guest appearances at the end of the 1000th episode of G4's video game review show titled X-Play. He made a guest appearance on a 2012 episode of the Aquabats Super Show, where he played a genie reminiscent of his character on Sigmund and the Sea Monsters back in 1976. In 1995, Rip Taylor performed the intro for the Bloodhound Gang's Use Your Fingers album. In the early 2000s, Johnny Knoxville asked Rip Taylor to be in the film Jackass, the movie, released in 2002. And in the final scene, Rip Taylor wielded a pistol when fired, released a sign that read, "The End." Rip Taylor did the same thing at the end of Jackass #2 and Jackass 3D. In the credits of the 2005 remake of The Dukes of Hazzard, Rip Taylor shows up in the blooper reel. I remember that. Forgot all about it. Rip Taylor made occasional appearances in movies, usually in broad comedies like The Happy Hooker Goes to Washington in 1977. I think that was Joan Collins starring in that. And the R-rated Deep Throat parody Chatterbox in 1977. In Cheech and Chong's Things Are Tough All Over, released in 1982, Rip Taylor picks them up in the middle of nowhere, driving a convertible full of props. I forgot all about that, too. That was hilarious. I remember that very well. Rip Taylor then proceeds to drive them to Las Vegas and telling jokes the whole way and moving Chong to tears from laughter and later tears because he won't stop. In Amazon Women on the Moon from 1987, a funeral service turns into a celebrity roast when guest Rip Taylor shows up to honor the deceased. Honor in quotes. In 1992, Rip Taylor voiced Captain Kitty in, Tom and Jerry's The Movie. In 1993's Indecent Proposal, he appeared as Demi Moore's boss, Mr. Langford. I forgot about that. Rip Taylor, geez. I'm going to play you a clip of him in a minute. They're going to crack your ass up if you've never seen it. Excuse my language. In 1981, Rip Taylor appeared on Broadway, where he replaced Mickey Rooney, who was an a-hole, in the burlesque-themed musical comedy titled Sugar Babies. He was a frequent co-star with Debbie Reynolds in her live shows in Las Vegas and Reno, Nevada, and Lake Tahoe. Rip Taylor performed frequently in Atlantic City as well. In 2010, Rip Taylor appeared in the one-man show titled It Ain't All Confetti in North Hollywood, California, where he shared personal stories about his life and career. Okay, we're wrapping up. I did go a little longer than I promised. Sorry about that. And I'll play the clip. In 2005, Rip Taylor appeared as the Grand Marshal of the Washington, D.C. Capitol Pride Parade. When Taylor had been referred to as openly gay, quote unquote, in a 2009 you think? I mean, come on. Even that clip from Don Marie, 1976. I mean, it's apparent. It's okay. But when Taylor had been referred to as, quote unquote, openly gay in a 2009 interview for Ask the Flying Monkey, Brent Hartinger recalled receiving an email from Rip Taylor stating, quote, "You don't know me to surmise I'm openly gay. I don't know that you're not an open heroin user. You see how that works? Think before you write," unquote. Woo! Rip Taylor was married for a number of years to a Las Vegas showgirl named Rusty Rowe, whom he divorced in the early 1960s. Rip Taylor was a close friend of entertainer Liberace, the piano man, the original piano man before Billy Joel. Rip Taylor cut the ribbon at the Las Vegas estate auction of Liberace's belongings and personal effects in 1988. According to his publicist at the time of Rip Taylor's death, he was in a long-term relationship with Robert Fortney. Taylor died on October 6th, 2019 at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, California, having been hospitalized for an epileptic seizure the week prior. Rip Taylor's death certificate listed heart failure as a contributing cause of death. While Rip Taylor often gave his birth year as 1934 or 1935, his death certificate and census records confirm he was born in 1931. Rip Taylor's ashes were scattered at sea in Hawaii. Now let's roll a clip. This is one I'm concerned about in terms of the stream going down on YouTube, but I'm going to go for it anyway. This is Rip Taylor removing his hairpiece on NBC in 1987 while a laughing Patty Duke Aston at the time laughs on. This is on a game show called Super Password, hosted by Bert Convey, who passed in 1991. But let's look at this clip. He's going to throw his hairpiece off. Bear with me. And if the stream goes down, hopefully it'll come back up quick. Let's watch.
The password is testimony.
Episcopalian. Well, you sit up here and go in the dumper.
I didn't know that Episcopalian was a 16-syllable word. That
Jim,
was
shut
Oh, Jim. Episcopalian.
Episcopalian. Clergyman.
Is it a clergyman? Is it a clergyman, I said?
No, that was just
I guess that's a no. Is that?
No, it was his password. Nobody cares what you want to guess the puzzle at.
I guess it wasn't clergyman.
It's his first day.
It might be my last day if I don't do this better. Do we have a guess yet?
I said clergyman.
Okay. Moving right along. Patty. Where did I go?
Witness.
I'm not guessing.
Where did I go?
Hush, I'm telling her something.
Well, it's my show. I can do it if I want to. Just make a guess anytime you want. I'll say it. It doesn't matter.
I go to Helen Keller again.
All right, Patty.
Oh, should I say it again?
Certainly.
Testimony.
Perfect clue. That's the word. Do you like to try? Oh my goodness. Just what I always wanted, hair on my chest. I think
I can't work under this kind of pressure.
excuse me, sir. I think I have something that belongs to you.
That's all I can probably play. That's just a great moment in game show television history. You know, one thing I didn't ever play, I said I would play Linda Lavin discussing Alice. This is an interview she did in 2021. It's not long. It's only 2 minutes long. So it's not like a long clip. Let's watch that now. Forgive me for not playing it in the Linda Lavin segment at the beginning of the show, but let's watch this right.
Early to rise, early to bed.
There's the on-air pilot opening.
Wait, no, I haven't figured out your tip yet. Well, figure this. 15% of nothing is nothing. Goodbye, I love you.
Until Alice, there hadn't been a single mother in a low-income job.
Mel, I know this is asking a lot, but I need $10 a week extra to pay for Tommy's braces.
You know the refrigerator's on the blink, and I gotta come up with $800 just to replace it.
Fighting for health care, fighting for benefits.
The refrigerator comes first. Because if I close down, you're gonna be out of work. And if you're out of work, you can't buy food. In which case, Tommy doesn't need teeth anyway.
There's a particular episode where Mel decides he wants to hire a guy to be a waiter.
Mel is paying him $2.60 an hour.
We only get $2.35, don't we?
Well, that makes me good and damn mad.
And Alice wanted to be right, and she wanted to be strong, and she wanted to be the leader.
We work here. We do the same work.
Oh, don't give me that women's lip junk.
Junk. Well, in that case, you can run it without me and Flo and Vera because we quit.
He tried to run the diner without us.
I'm going over to Barney's Burger Barn and get some decent service.
But what about these eggs? Don't you? We'll be back.
And it wasn't possible.
On behalf of Alice, Vera, and myself.
Kiss my grin!
What do you say? Ratified?
When I was invited to speak for the votes that were being taken to pass the Equal Rights Amendment, I thought, how do I do this? So it occurred to me to wear the Alice uniform, because they knew her, and they were her.
I hope that all of the Alices who work unprotected will carry the message to their bosses that we want and we have earned our economic rights.
Awesome. I thought she was fantastic. Now, anyone watching on Facebook Live or Twitch, it went down on YouTube. Hopefully it'll come back up. Wow. Let me delete that clip. Never play that again. But rest in peace to Linda Lavin, one of my heroes in the acting world, just a total inspiration. I wish I met her. Never met her, never knew her, of course. Close to meeting her on Wanderlust. If they'd shot her scenes, I possibly could have met her then, like I met Martin Landau years ago on the set of a Lifetime movie about Anna Nicole Smith called just that, Anna Nicole. But anyway, so rest in peace to her. And what a trip Rip Taylor was. That was so funny when he removed his hairpiece, I think. Okay, let's do some music history notes really quickly. On Tuesday, January 4th, 1972, the rock band Yes released their hit tune Roundabout in the USA. That's 53 years ago, over 53 years ago. The 8-minute, 30-second long song was recorded on Wednesday, August 11th, 1971. In and around the lake, mallards come out of the sky and just stand there. That was a great song. Yes, they were completely different in the 1980s. You know, when they came back, I thought they were their sound was different. Of course, you know, because that was 60s into 70s when Roundabout was released. So yes, bands evolve if they want to survive and stay relevant and keep producing records that sell. So they had to adapt, but like, think about the song Leave It compared to Roundabout. It's completely different. Okay, we're back on YouTube. Okay, another little historical tidbit. Over 27 years ago, on Monday, January 5th, 1998, actor, comedian, singer, and politician Sonny Bono died in a skiing accident. In happier times, the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour premiered on CBS on Sunday, August 1st, 1971, and ended its initial 3-season TV run on Wednesday, February 13th, 1974. After taking most of 1974 and the entire year of 1975 off, the duo returned to CBS in a new hour-long musical variety show with the new title, The Sonny and Cher Show, on Sunday, February 1st, 1976. This new show last aired on Monday, August 29th, 1977, lasting for 2 seasons. Well, I was going to do my fake rant of the week. Let me see how long I've gone. And I don't think Mr. Gutfeld's around for trivia. Again, I'm going to start with trivia, I think, next time, because I did promise trivia. I'll do some questions. Maybe we should jump into that right now. Jump into, okay, I know. Thank you. I'm going to jump into some trivia, just a few questions, because I said I would, and I've been meaning to do this. And let me see what other clips. Now I'm scared to play my next clip. It was my music video of the week. I'm going to do it. I'm going to play it because let me see what other clips I have. Oh, I did want to play. Okay. All right. I'm all over the place. I'm going to do my fake rant of the week. So I've got to do my setup, which is right here.
You want to fight? I'll give you a fight.
Fake round of the week time. Okay, it's about censorship on home video products. So, how many of you still buy your favorite movies on physical media, on 4K, Blu-ray, or even DVD? Well, most, of course, today stream their entertainment. But there was a controversy when Amazon Prime edited the sound, I almost said The Sound of Music. It's a Wonderful Life, Frank Capra's classic. There's a version that's edited on Amazon Prime that made the rounds on certain news platforms at the end of 2024. Now we're in 2025, but yeah. And so there was a lot of pushback and it was a scene. It was Potter's town scene because it was critical of someone who takes over all of the industry in the town, kind of like Jeff Bezos, if you know. So they claim it was a copyright issue. Hogwash. It was edited. So I can't stand when something is edited, whether it's streaming, broadcast, or on DVD. And the thing is, I've said this before, TV shows get edited for broadcast and have for a long time, for more commercial time. And it irritates me because movies seldom are, except for the end credits, which get cut and crunched down for a promo. Television is very mercilessly edited. Like an hour show that was 51 minutes, 15 seconds in the 60s and 70s will be edited down to like 44 minutes. I mean, you're losing a key part of the story you're watching. So that's a pet peeve of mine. That's not going to change. I get it because you have to have commercial time. But what really gets me is when they edit a TV show for home video release. That is absolutely insane. Now, case in point, there was an episode of Barnaby Jones. I'm not going to play the clip of it. It had the N-word bleeped out. And I don't condone that. Don't misunderstand. I just think you should not mess with art. And the scene was to show how despicable this villain was in this Barnaby Jones episode. And so on the doggone DVD, they bleep it out. And I'm like, what the hell? Now, Little House on the Prairie didn't do that. Todd Bridges, there's a scene that breaks my heart. I'm going to play a little clip of it. It'll break your heart. Watch what little Todd Bridges, before Different Strokes, said in this scene that takes place, of course, in the late 1800s in Walnut Grove. Oh, by the way, the episode of Barnaby Jones that was censored on DVD, it's the 4th episode in season 1 titled The Murdering Class, which originally aired on March 4th, 1973, which was censored on the DVD. So again, I'm not defending, you know, would you censor Blazing Saddles for DVD? I know they do on even on cable TV, like basic cable, like, you know, BET, you know, it's not a pretty word, but let's face it, a lot of white folks, that means ignorant, right? I'm not going to say the word. It means ignorant. And there's a lot of white folks that are ignorant too. So it shouldn't be exclusive for just one race of people, in my opinion. I mean, you wouldn't edit Pulp Fiction. So anyway, I'm going to play Todd Bridges just because this is a scene that really touches my heart. It's so sad. Let me get it queued up. So warning, you're going to hear, but he's saying it, the N-word. But watch this clip from Little House on the Prairie, which was not censored on the Blu-ray or even the broadcast, because it teaches a lesson. Whoever made the decision realizes this is about stamping out racism, this scene. Let me find it. I thought I had it right here. It's super serious. Okay, here it is. Let's watch this. Now, I'm just saying, you're going to hear the N-words 1 minute long. Let's watch this. It's a heartbreaking scene.
Now, last week I had you write an essay about the things that you liked the most. This week I thought it might be fun if we wrote an essay about the things that we disliked the most. Solomon?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you think of something that you dislike?
Being a nigga. I didn't mean nothing bad. The teacher asked a question and I just answered it.
Why'd you say it?
'Cause it's the truth. If and I was white, my pa'd still be alive. Being a nigga killed my pa. You answer me something, sir.
If I can.
Would you like to live to be 100?
I'm sure I would. It's not very likely, but I guess all of us like to live to a ripe old age.
Would you rather be black and live to be 100, or white and live to be 50?
Wow. That's a powerful scene. Wow. I mean, dude, doesn't that break your heart? Look at little Todd Bridges. Yeah. Someone in chat, Cindy D, said she had such a crush on Todd Bridges. Yeah. I saw him in Chips too. Season 3 premiere roller disco as himself, along with other celebrities at a charity event in the scene. They're raising funds. And it was a really good episode. I used to have it on 16mm film, roller disco. But Todd Bridges, hey, we featured Different Strokes in Soul Survivor. He's the soul survivor, and he struggled with drug abuse. I mean, hard drugs like crack, cocaine, heroin, everything. And he beat it, and he survived. And who would think that someone that was doing all those substances would live beyond a Dana Plato, who also had a prescription drug addiction herself, which contributed to her untimely death. But yeah. Oh, yes, he was. He was on the Waltons as well. Mark points that out, as was John Ritter, right before Three's Company started playing a preacher. The Waltons is a great show, a Laura Moore production. Laura Moore also did Dallas. That was a great production company. They did Family Matters with Urkel. That was a good show. So let me look at where we're at with the things I wanted to cover. I guess we should jump to the trivia. Let me just scroll down here. Oh, gosh. Okay. I got to talk about this. This is a restaurant chain that's having a comeback. I wanted to show you some pictures here real quick, and this will make your mouth water. Let's see if I can find it. Gosh, darn it. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Here we go. I want to talk about Steak and Ale. You remember Steak and Ale? Are you a Gen Xer or older? Are you a boomer? Remember Steak and Ale? They had a really good prime rib. Well, listen, Saturday night was date night. And Saturday date night was perfect for Steak and Ale. The first location was opened by Norman Brinker in Dallas, Texas in the year 1966. The lighting was low, the bread was hot, and the salad bar was stacked. The Lowenbrow flowed, and the prices were reasonable at Steak and Ale. One of the best entrees was the prime rib meal. Steak and Ale was independent until 1976 when Pillsbury, the dough people, purchased it and lumped it in with its other food emporiums of that time, including Bennigan's. Remember Bennigan's restaurant? I got food poisoning from Bennigan's from bad chicken tenders back in the day, like in the early 1990s, but that's besides the point. But Pillsbury also owned Burger King for a while and Poppin' Fresh Pies, among other properties. In 1976, there were 113 Steak and Ale restaurants, including their Jolly Ox brand, which was used in areas that did not allow alcohol in the business name. In 1982, Pillsbury, the dough people, spun off the company and Bennigan's into an independent S&A restaurant corporation. Steak and Ale grew as one of the first chain dinner houses into its prime in the late 1980s with 280 locations before competition that the brand helped to inspire eroded its market presence. In 1988, Metro Media purchased the company Steak and Ale. In 1993, the company was merged with the Metro Media Steakhouses chains, Bonanza and Ponderosa. I used to love both of those places. They'd serve you a baked potato in the foil with a lot of melted butter in the middle. Went there with my grandparents in St. Louis, Missouri. Loved both of them. All three of these chains were operated under the S&A Restaurant Group brand. The S&A Restaurant Corp filed for bankruptcy in July 2008, a terrible year, which affected, financially anyway, which affected the Bennigan's restaurant chain, and all of the company-owned stores closed the same day as the Steak and Ale restaurants did. The Metro Media Company also owns the Ponderosa and Bonanza Steakhouse chains, which were not affected by the bankruptcy filing because they are operated by a different subsidiary of the company. Almost done with this, folks. Look at this dish while I read this from Steak and Ale. There you go. Some prime rib. Their salad bar was the best. I had one right around the corner from me. I think it's now a damn bank. But, and then next to it was what I'm going to talk about next, another quick chain that is not what it once was. All right, on Wednesday, February 11th, 2015, Chief Executive Officer Paul Mangamel and his wife Gwen closed on a management buyout of the company from its parent private equity firm for an undisclosed price. The new company was called Legendary Restaurant Brands LLC and is now 100% owner of the Bennigan's restaurant chain. I didn't know they were still around. Its fast casual concept called Bennigan's on the Fly and the Steak and Ale brand. In June of 2020, it was announced that the first revamped Steak and Ale location was under construction in Cancun, Mexico, and was scheduled to open in 2021, with other locations eventually opening in the USA. In June of 2020, it was announced that the first revamped Steak and Ale location was under construction and scheduled to open in 2021 in Cancun. But no Cancun location opened. In 2018, Legendary kept the Steak and Ale brand alive by adding some of the chain's signature dishes to the Bennigan's menu. In 2023, the company announced its latest plans for a revival in the United States. The first location in Burnsville, Minnesota, opened on July 9th, 2024. A second restaurant is scheduled to open in 2024 in Grand Prairie, Texas, but they faced delays. Now we're into 2025, and so far it's not open there in Texas. Now, speaking of nostalgic restaurants, let's chat about this one that is not what it once was. I'm talking about Pizza Hut. Listeners, I'm putting a meme on the screen. It says, one car in the parking lot means the jukebox and the Galaga are all yours. Yeah, Pizza Hut. Again, talking about date nights. Yeah, Pizza Hut was founded on May 31st, 1958 in Wichita, Kansas by brothers Dan and Frank Carney, C-A-R-N-E-Y, who at that time were both Wichita State students when they opened their first Pizza Hut location in Wichita, Kansas. Reminds me of John from Papa John's. I think he opened his in 1985 when he was a student. Anyway, flash forward to the year 1976. Look at this, viewers. The sit-down Pizza Hut. They had beer pitchers. A lot of Little League trophy presentations were conducted at Pizza Hut restaurants all over the USA. It was a fun place to go. The salad bar was great. It was great for date night. Like when you're in college, when you had limited funds, I took a lot of first dates to Pizza Hut to sit down. I did. It worked one time. Anyway, flash forward to the year 1976. At that time, Pizza Hut allowed families to dine in for birthdays, Little League trophy events, or just weekend fun. Not many of these sit-down Pizza Hut restaurants exist anymore. They also had the pizza buffet at lunchtime. The Pizza Hut chain is headquartered in Plano, Texas, and it operates this. I need to update this, but when I wrote this, 17,639 restaurants worldwide as of 2020, making Pizza Hut the world's largest pizza chain in terms of the number of locations. It's owned by Yum Brands Incorporated, one of the world's largest restaurant companies. And there's the picture of Olivia I promised earlier in the show. I got that from Al Hardy's Nostalgia Rewind Facebook group. Olivia Jose. I loved her in Psycho 4 as Norman Osborn's mother. Very strange movie. This guy, what's his name? I forget his name. He's a strange guy in Atlanta that likes to latch on to a local Atlanta media personality. He's a nice guy. Michael Hopkins. He's the one that introduced me and Al Hardy to Psycho 4. Al Hardy didn't care for it. We watched it in Al Hardy's home cinema. I loved it. I've talked about this before. I have it on Blu-ray, all 4 Psycho movies. The 4th one is not bad. It's the origin of Norman Bates, and she was Norman Bates' mother before she was a skeleton. And this is long on our rearview mirror, but back on January 1st, 2015, we lost Donna Douglas. So rest in peace to the memory of Donna Douglas, who was born in Louisiana State. And I meant to show you this when we talked about the loss of Jimmy Carter, there's Brother Billy with Billy Beer. Billy Beer was a terrible beer, horrible beer. It would make you puke. Oh, it was just such bad stuff. And here's a Jimmy Carter radio, courtesy of friend of the show, Basil Chesterman, otherwise known as Tom Williams. Oh, and Tracy's Fractured History and More isn't here anymore, but I've been uploading Space Giants episodes. She came up with this funny meme of Rodak, because she has said for a while in chat, she thinks that Rodak reminds her of Gene Simmons from Kiss, the front man of Kiss. Of course, the rock band. I can totally see it. I love that. Gene Simmons and Rodak. Pretty cute. I'm going to upload some new episodes, or at least new to my channel. I don't think they're on YouTube presently, starting with episode 29 very soon in January 2025 as we're live. If you're watching or the replay after the fact, that's probably already up. Just Google search The Nostalgic Podblast and click videos. It's not in the live tab. It's under videos. And I have episodes 1 through 28 up right now as we're live, uncut. And I've tried to perform some of the translations. I got some lost English tracks that someone translated for me. Akiko. Okay, let me see what other pictures. Okay. Yeah, that's Space Giants right there. But a crazy alien wants to take over the Earth. Okay, so let me see where we're at. Is this thing still on? I guess I'll do a couple trivia questions. I'm sure Joe Gutfeld long since went to sleep. We've gone almost 3 hours. I got to start to wrap the show. Okay, so let's do 1970s. This is just too easy. TV trivia. Let's do this. Let's just do a few questions here because I did promise trivia. Then I'll have a clean conscience. I'll do these. Let's see if there's any questions worthy of giving away prizes. Like, let's see here. Hang on. Okay. This is so redundant. Which smooth-talking actor brought the scheming J.R. Ewing to life in the iconic TV series Dallas? That would be Larry Hagman. Okay. Larry Hagman played the iconic character J.R. Ewing in the TV series Dallas, which originally aired from 1978 to 1991. It was revived on TNT in 2012 to 2014. Hagman died in 2012. Larry Hagman's portrayal of the ruthless oil tycoon became one of the most memorable roles in television history, contributing significantly to the show's success and cultural impact. And of course, before that, he was on I Dream of Jeannie. And I love Barbara Eden. She's still with us as we're live, knock on wood. I love her. And she had a really nice little New Year's message. All right, let me put the next question on the screen. I failed to put the first one on the screen. Okay, well, let me put this on the screen. Which groundbreaking medical drama aired from 1982 to 1988? Featuring a stellar cast of doctors at the fictional St. Eligius Hospital. I don't know how you pronounce that. Sorry, I probably mangled it. I'll give you some choices. Which groundbreaking medical drama aired from 1982 to 1988? Was it MASH, Trapper John MD, Quincy, or St. Elsewhere? It's St. Elsewhere. There you go. It was St. Elsewhere. Very good, Danny Staten. And very good, Mark. Mark C, 13579. Excellent. I mean, that's good. Let's see what else here. I don't think Mr. Gutfeld's here. I'm going to save the rest of these questions for next week. I don't know. What should I do some trivia? Are you up for it? It's just, I like it when there's a robust, I need to do this at the beginning of the show moving forward when people are actually tuned in while we're live. Let me, no disrespect to them. I'm grateful for anyone who's still there, like Mark and Mr. Staten, but let me just see if I can find a little bit trickier question. Okay, let's see. I didn't prepare this. Can you tell? I mean, some of these are just doggone too easy. All right. I'm not going to ask you this question. Let me get to another one. No. I'll save it for next time. I think it's too late. It's too late. Okay, so we're going to move along with the show. And let me see what other clips I have, if any. Go play another song. New Year's Eve's in the rearview mirror, but I love this song from Atlanta Rhythm Section. I want to just put this in the show for the listeners. It's a karaoke version, so it should be okay with the clips. This is Champagne Jam. We'll take a quick break by the Atlanta Rhythm Section. Thank you, ma'am. I love Champagne Jam, Atlanta Rhythm Section. Okay, guys and girls, I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's almost the 3-hour mark. Just scanning to make sure I played all the clips I wanted to. I think I did. Okay, I'm going to end with the music video of the week. I love this song. I played the karaoke version of it. I love the Little River Band, and I like this because it's nostalgic. It literally is nostalgia. This is the official music video from 1978 of Reminiscing. Go and try to play it. If the stream goes down, we'll see you next time on the Nostalgic Podblast on Friday. I'm going to be with Tug, the Unapologetic Geek, on Sunday on his YouTube channel at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, noon Central Time. We'll be on the panel with him. That'll be a lot of fun. And then on Brainbender's Banter Saturday night, the regular Saturday night thing, anyone who cares about that, our little panel. But I'm going to be solo next Friday night again with some nostalgic goodness. And sincerely, rest in peace to the wonderful talent that we covered tonight and some that we didn't. I couldn't cover everyone. We lost a heck of a lot of very pop culturally significant people in 2024. Happy 2025 to you. May it be a great year, a safe year, and we'll catch you next time. Here comes the Little River Band. Good night.
It ended